As the unofficial second half of the season begins, things are looking up for the Halos. They've been one of the best teams in the American League over the last month and a half.
Got him swinging.
They have the most interesting man in sports, dominating on the mound and at the plate.
This is annihilated. Oh, no!
And the return of the best player in baseball is just around the corner.
Get going. And he got it!
The All-Star break is in the rearview mirror, and the Angels' push to the playoffs begins now.
Why not open up the second half with a Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night? Angels baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by your Southern California Chevy dealers. American League West matchup, Mariners of Seattle and the Los Angeles Angels. Hi everybody, I'm Rich Waltz along with Mark Gubazah. Hey, the second half is here, and I know for the Angels there's urgency and there's opportunity.
Wait, Rich. Welcome to the family. Glad to have you aboard here. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to start the second half. The Angels finished up strong that last win. Really good as far as what they did without some key components not in their lineup.
All right, here's the urgency and here's the opportunity for the Angels. When you look at the American League West standings, Houston is a 3.5 game better than the Oakland Athletics, but look at Seattle right in front of them. Joe Madden just said moments ago, I want my team to look at the scoreboard and look at the standings, and he also told his team what's important in the second half, and I know you've got a list.
Yeah, there's three things, Rich, I really think this team needs to be able to do to be able to be successful going forward in the second half. A healthy Angels roster. That's 782 career home runs. Need to get back in the Rodon, Trout, and Upton, and you need some length and quality from the starter. Shohei Ohtani at the top of that rotation. Cava's been good. Sandoval's been good. Heaney's been throwing the ball well also. And being creative and aggressive baseball. I mean, situations they didn't get a little bit better than they were in the first half. And running the bases a little bit more, going first to third. They got Adam Eaton in there, a guy that will do that a lot. So there's some good pluses as far as creativity on the baseball side.
One of the biggest questions in baseball right now is when is Mike Trout coming back? Well, when is he coming back? For that, we go to Jose Mota. Hi, Jose.
Hey, Rich, old friend, welcome to the broadcast. Great to have you. One thing we know is Mike Trout with that right calf strain. Today, will be missing his 50th game. So Joe Madden, always optimistic, said today that Mike Trout is getting close to 100% in terms of pain tolerance and moving around. Now, in terms of running, he is just doing some light jogging, some light sprints, and hitting and throwing are not an issue. Obviously, playing the outfield and shagging lightly too. But overall, consider that to go on a rehab, he's going to have that quick burst, first step out of the batter's box, first step over in the outfield and center field. So for Joe Madden, he also knows one thing. Even though he says it could be within a couple of weeks, when the Angels get Mike Trout healthy and on the field, it will be the biggest acquisition ever when it comes down to acquiring a top-rated player.
All right, thank you, Jose. And Joe also knows that the Angels were one of the best teams in baseball over the last month and a half. The question is, can they take that momentum into the second half? Angels and Mariners, let that second half begin.
Hey, Uncle Dan.
Zach, go ahead.
So, what's your approach after a bad show?
A bad show? You think I had a bad show?
Well, you flubbed 2 lines in the intro segment. How did you feel about that?
How did I feel? Next question.
Okay. What was on your mind when?
What was on my mind? Boy, I hope my nephew Zach doesn't ask any dumb questions.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions. Only on MLB Network.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Wake up for a full day of baseball on MLB Central, featuring an all-star lineup of hosts and a colorful cast of guests all season. The fun never stops on MLB Central. Weekday mornings 10 Eastern, only on MLB Network.
Got him swinging.
This is annihilated. Oh, no!
You run out of superlatives for Shohei Ohtani. These are the first half numbers, Mark Kubaza.
I mean, it's amazing what he did offensively on the mound. 33 home runs, slugging percentage, .697. That's the best in the game. And remember, this is a guy who pitched 4-1 record on the mound, 207 total bases. The first player in modern history to have 33 home runs, 4 triples, and 12 stolen bases. Phenomenal first half for Shohei Ohtani.
All right, the Seattle Mariners are hot as well. They played well at the end of the first half, and here's their lineup. And there was a change late. Jake Fraley was a late scratch in left field, and that put Shed Long in the 9 spot. Crawford's got speed. Haniger seems to always hurt the Angels. You've got the veteran Kyle Seager and Jared Kelenic, their top prospect, is back up after struggling mightily and then raking in AAA. And Andrew Heaney gets the ball to open up the second half for the Los Angeles Angels. And Heaney, the 30-year-old, he won his last start, beat Boston, and that snapped a 3-game losing streak. And for Heaney, trying to improve on that first half ERA of 5.38.
Yeah, Rich, my go-tos for Andrew Heaney to have a successful game here tonight and be able to carry that the rest of the second half is control the early count. So his first 2 pitches, 388 with 8 home runs allowed on the first 2 pitches, and get those outs with his secondary pitches. His curveball and changeup, a very good swing and miss pitches. 49 strikeouts to 226 batting average versus his curveball and changeup.
Heaney ready to go. J.P. Crawford, one of the most improved players in baseball over the last couple of years, a Gold Glove last year, and his offensive numbers have really started to pick up. And that is a strike, and that's not a surprise. First pitch strikes. Heaney leads the American League right around 69%. And Crawford takes down low.
Yeah, the odd thing in this game, Rich, both starting pitchers on the first pitch they throw, put in play, very high batting average and slugging percentage. Andrew Heaney at a 500 clip, and Flexen with a 481 with around the strike zone so often.
Crawford lines that one into center field, and right there is Juan Lagares. How about the defense tonight? And of course, for Joe Maddon, he's had to patchwork the outfields. Phil Gosselin gets a start against a righty, but we'll talk more about that. And you got Adam Eaton in right. Mayfield is at third. Iglesias Fletcher up the middle. Jared Walsh, the All-Star, is not in left, by the way. He's in first base. And Max Stassi is behind the plate. And there is the veteran Adam Eaton, a guy that Joe Maddon has coveted for a long time. Always been a big fan of him. Did not get off to a good start at the plate with the White Sox. Was released, and the Angels have signed him, and they're hoping that they could tweak the swing and get the offense. The defense has always been there.
How about those 15 outfield assists in 2016, 52 career outfield assists, including 22 from right field. Like you got him to swing at that one. That's a good sign when you have that good spin downward action on a curveball from Andrew Heaney. Heaney Dog needs that curveball working, and Haniger always with some good swings against the Angels, but Heaney gets him to chase. A good opportunity to try to get him to chase something well out of the strike zone now.
Of course, the curveball is always a weapon when you can command the fastball.
And his fastball, upper part of the strike zone, a 4-seam fastball. His curveball starts in the same plane, downward action. A lot of times you go on some sites, it's a slider, some it's a curveball. It's a combination for me of a slider and curveball, so more of a slurve downward 11-5 break.
Haniger rips it to left. What's new? He hurts the Angels, and he's having a very nice year, and is a guy that a lot of other teams are keeping a close watch on this month.
And that curveball, just too much of the plate. He wants it down. You can see Andrew's reaction on this. He wants that one down in its middle part of the plate. Haniger now 7 for 19 in his career versus Andrew Heaney, including 3 home runs. That was a home run type pitch to hit out. Fortunate enough for Andrew Heaney, just on the line. He's got to make sure that curveball is down below the strike zone. Ty
France now the first baseman for Seattle. Haniger not a threat to run. He's undergone multiple surgeries over the last couple of years. And the Mariners are not a team that run a lot. And there's the fastball for a strike. Ty France at first, and the Just like the Angels, the Mariners have had some serious injuries. They lost Evan White, their first baseman, who won a Gold Glove last year, to a leg injury. They're without Kyle Lewis, their center fielder, a good young player. Ball in the dirt, and it kicks away from Stassi.
I think I got him in the foot.
And it did get France in the foot. And Bruce Dreckman, the home plate umpire, points him to first base. That's the back foot breaking ball, literally.
He overthrew that one and gets him right on the foot. Going towards the front and got the back leg on the bounce. So some stress right away for Andrew Heaney, trying to stay away from the big inning. He's been very good when he gets on a roll, but the big inning has been an issue for him. Even over the last couple of seasons, he's been able to get some ground ball double plays, 7 of them. He'd love to be able to get one now against Seager, who doesn't hit a lot of balls on the ground, though.
No, he's lift and separate. To right, Eaton. Runners tag, Haniger at second. Eaton makes the catch, and Haniger's going to get to third. Retreating to first is Ty France, and that's Seager. He's a fly ball guy. Heaney gets the important out. And it's at the corners with 2 outs, and here comes Luis Torrens.
And off the bat, you think, okay, that's a routine play, but at this hour of the night here at the Big A, it's not an easy play, especially your first game as an Angel, because you'll see a couple banks of light going through. You have the lights on, sunshine, and you're trying to be able to gauge exactly how far that baseball, because it's a good sound off the bat, but nice job by Eaton running that one down. Not an easy play, your first one in a new uniform.
Torrens is another guy that has hurt the Angels. Though in his career, he's only seen Andrew Heaney twice. He's 0 for 2. He's the DH.
And an interesting thing here, Rich, the defense set up. All his damage against the Angels really has been to right field. A double, a triple that way to staying back, hitting the ball that way. You have Fletcher up the middle. There's a lot of room on that right side of the infield. Hit a couple baseballs hard by Walsh at first base.
Well, the infield is shifted over towards third. Angels in the outfield do not have a dramatic shift. You can see Lagares is shaded towards right center. Just underway. The Haniger single. Heaney hit Ty France, and Torrens with runners at the corners, and a 1-1 pitch coming. Into left. It'll score a run. Haniger across, and Torrens gives Seattle a quick lead.
This time he was able to pull a baseball. It was another pitch. It was upstairs. So the Mariners in this inning have hit the ball pretty hard against Andrew Heaney. Not the velocity you normally would see from Heaney. 91. It's still pretty good fastball. But 92, 96, his fastball velocity has gone down a bit over the last month or so for Heaney.
This is not a great offensive team in Seattle, but they're finding a way to get it done. They are the worst in the American League in batting average, in slugging percentage, in OPS. Cal Raleigh, good young prospect in his second big league game.
Look at Andrew Heaney, where that difference in the fastball the first 3 starts, opponent's batting average over the last 3. Just a huge difference. Whip percentage down considerably. Chase percentage down and home runs up. Reason why, he's not getting quite the spin on his fastball. Velocity is going down a bit, and spotting his fastball hasn't been as effective as it was earlier in the season.
Raleigh has power and size, and he fouls it back. And he's like a lot of young players that are somewhat a mystery, because last year there were not minor league games. I hope that we can lose the words alternate site from our lexicon of baseball, but that's where guys like Cal Raleigh were last year, playing inter-squad games.
But you could tell by his swing and even his approach behind the plate as a defensive catcher, this kid is going to be a star at some point, but he is super, super strong.
High fastball, 92. And it's 1-2.
You can tell by that swing he doesn't get cheated on a swing. That's trying to do some damage.
Great college program, Florida State, and just 203 games in the minor leagues. 46 home runs in those 203 games. So he's dangerous. And you got Kelnick on deck. And a 1-2. Got him, elevated. Dialed it up to 93. Seattle gets a run. Angels get their first swings.
Nerds. Oh, thanks. I can.
No, I got it.
Sweet unholy cobalt. Is Brad's card better than mine? Better sign-up bonus? Better travel perks? Is that how Brad took that trip to Barcelona? Wait, Barcelona? Barcelona?
Steve, I got it on NerdWallet.
Ah. You said all that out loud.
Want a better credit card? We've got you. From the best rates to the best rewards, for all your credit card questions, turn to the nerds.
When we started our company, we simply wanted better sheets. But along the way, we've realized that softer, safer, organic cotton does so much more for the planet and for humanity. It helps your home become a force for good, because home is more than just an address. Home is our soul. Boll & Branch, organic sheets, bath, and home. Right now, try for 30 nights risk-free and get free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Out there too. We got just jumping at Adam Eaton's in the lineup. We didn't even talk about him being here now. We're going to go Fletch. Fletch is way too hot to move. Ohtani will be hitting second. I stay with Walshy third because I think he ensures the fact that Ohtani will be pitched at playing first. Fourth will be the Goose. The Goose is always loose. He's going to play left field bat. Fourth, and then here was Stassi and Iglesias. If you look at the numbers to this point, Stassi has been better against righties, which he's always been more of a lefty hitter, hit lefties well. But Stas 5, Iggy 6, and then here comes Adam Eaton hitting 7th. Eaton hitting 7th, 2 righties in front, 2 righties behind him. He should see a righty and not a lefty. Lagares hitting 8th, and Jackie Mayfield hitting 9th. I wanted to put out there what I perceive to be the best defensive team, and I think that's what we're getting tonight. And of course, Shohei's the DH.
Great to see you sitting next to the skipper.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and he's so much fun around. He's so honest too when he's telling you everything about the team and what the lineup's going to look like tonight.
And he likes his lineup with the righties against Chris Flexen. He thinks Flexen's much tougher on lefties. Flexen has been one of the reasons Seattle is where they are right now. He's had a terrific first half. High fastball, Fletch goes after it. And it's into the seats.
It's amazing how well he can bring his hands up and get an elevated fastball, whether it's at the shoulders or above the shoulders for Fletch.
And he did that twice at the end of the first half in Seattle and homered to left field against the Mariners. And you can see those are his only 2 home runs of what was a terrific first half. 24 straight games. And a line drive right to Crawford. There's 1 out. Great moment before the game when he came out and accepted his Player of the Month award, and just the absolute talk of baseball in the first half. And I must say, during the All-Star home run contest, during the All-Star game, and he carried himself and he represented the Angels so well.
Can you imagine all the pressure on him and every phase he did, from the home run derby, the pitching and hitting leading off in that game? And I'll tell you what, he responded beautifully.
He did a lot of national interviews with this interpreter. That was great to see. It's not always easy being pulled in different spots, and Flexen misses down low. And Flexen, when he faced Ohtani earlier this year, did a lot of off-speed, a lot of soft stuff, and danced around the strike zone. There's a 1-1. That's Shed Long, who's an infielder playing left. And he kind of looked like it on his way in. Makes the catch.
It's amazing. Everything that Shohei hits, there's the oohs and the ahs in the crowd, expecting some baseball to go 500 feet for Shohei. But you're always going to be, your timing's going to be off a bit as a hitter when you come back from the All-Star break. My go-to is to have success against Flexen today, though. He threw the ball really, really well last time out. Is continue the road woes. An ERA is 6.97 on the road. And lift those pitches in the air. He's a guy who will get a lot of ground balls. You got to try to lift his breakable, his fastball, even his changeup up in the air. He's got 14 double plays turned behind him, so he's a lot of ground ball action.
What an all-star game it was for Jared Walsh, who looked good at the plate, hit a ball to deep left center to the wall at Coors Field, and then found himself in left field. You guys on the pregame show talked about the play that he made that may have ensured an American League win.
Man, you can't hesitate at all to make a play like that, base loaded. That looks like it's at least 2, maybe 3 runs scored if he doesn't make that play. But that's Walsh. He's aggressive. He's fearless no matter where you put him, at first, right field, or first time out in left.
And he has had a terrific season so far. On the ground, that's Crawford in the shift, gobbles it up, and Flexen goes 1-2-3 in the first.
Looking for dinner made easy? Move over meal prep and make way for pre-chopped and pre-portioned ingredients. Hit the road hard to follow recipes and say hello to easy breezy meals. Peace out, pile of dishes, and welcome easy cleanup. Well, hello there, Home Chef. Home Chef oven-ready meals, pre-chopped and pre-portioned recipes without the prep or mess. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com. Home Chef, delicious meat simple.
This is cellulose acetate, a plant-based material that's not only extremely durable, but also quite flexible, making it ideal for Warby Parker glasses, which, by the way, start at $95, including prescription lenses. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com. Oh yeah, about those prescription lenses. Warby Parker glasses come standard with custom-cut polycarbonate lenses that have been treated with scratch-resistant and anti-reflective coatings. Nice. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Andrew Heaney and the Angels trailing 1-0 here, top of the second inning. And Heaney faced 6 batters in the first inning, 17 pitches, 12 strikes. And Gooby, you were talking about command and lack of velocity. And yes, scouts have been noticing the velocity going down, which means perhaps that fastball upstairs is one that he has to be very, very careful with, considering the fact that the Seattle Mariners know a lot about Andrew Heaney as an Angel.
Jose, it's a good point. And Heaney, and we noted it, if you don't command that fastball, then the curveball doesn't have as much effectiveness.
That means you go to those 4 quadrants of the strike zone. You can't afford early in the season. He was able to afford some misses over the middle of the plate. Now he's got to go make sure the upper part of the strike zones and the lower part, but he can't make any mistakes in the middle of the plate with his fastball now until he gets a little better feel for it again and more confidence going forward, because he was extremely confident for a good stretch using his fastball and getting a lot of swing and misses and chases.
Jared Kelenic chasing that breaking ball. Kelenic, one of the top prospects in baseball, is back in the big leagues after struggling mightily in his first go-around. He was 8 for 83. That is 0.96, 26 strikeouts in 23 games. They sent him down at age 21 to AAA, and he absolutely raked. A .622 slugging percentage, 7 homers in 24 games, and he chases there. The breaking ball, Heaney gets his second strikeout.
And that's the one thing I've noticed for Kelenic so far. If you show in a good fastball, that's Andrew Heaney did that in that at bat, and then work your way on the outside part of the plate, you can get some chases. Now, if you force in the middle of the plate with his swing and his power, it's going to go a long way, but you have to establish in against him, especially as a left-hand pitcher in Andrew Heaney, to get those chases away.
Dylan Moore now at second base. Moore is the speedster right now in this Mariners lineup. He's got 14 stolen bases. Getting on base has been somewhat of an issue, but he's got pop and he's hurt the Angels. 8 homers. He's driven in 28 as the crowd still arrives on Ohtani bobblehead night on a Friday night. There's still some sunshine here at the Big A, and a fastball misses out. It's 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a packed house here. A lot of people are still filing into the stadium, and I'll tell you what, its excitement level is high every time you have 2 All-Stars in your lineup at Jared Walsh and Shohei Ohtani. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's that 2-0 fastball, but in a great spot outside corner at the letters.
Dylan Moore's been pretty good as far as pitches out over the plate. He hits pretty hard to right center, so a breaking ball and a changeup should be effective.
And one of the many players in this game and in this sport from this area.
Yep. Yeah, he grew up an Angel fan, but Angel fans aren't really like him a whole lot. He's doing too many things. He played some good defense up in Seattle at third base, filling in for Kyle Seager at third.
Well, Heaney just reared back, fell behind, commanded the fastball, and he has struck out the last 3 he's faced.
Yeah, good balance. He's hiding the baseball well, and just out of that hand late with his fastball, that deception he creates. See how difficult it is as a hitter? You don't see that baseball till the last second. And when he has that good balance, when he's quick, front shoulder opens up, better chance to see it a long time.
A run in the first for Seattle. And here is Shed Long. And the fastball is in. Scott Service has a pretty young roster with some bright lights. And Shed Long has had some moments this year, but you can see the batting average not where he wants it.
He's got some good power on the inner half of the plate. He's had a tough time on pitches away. Well, it's a fastball that was middle down. Breaking balls away, but if you throw something on the inner half, we've seen that already. He can drive it a long, long way. Strong on the inside part of the plate.
Chopper, Walsh backing up. Heaney over, and he's there. That's a clean inning for Andrew Heaney.
Whether it's extra cheese, extra credit, or extra strength, everything's better with a little extra. And with the MLB Extra Innings package, you get more of what you love most of all, baseball. Watch up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices all season long. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Flexen, a lot of success in 2020 in Korea. Outstanding job for the Doosan Bears. And Jared DePoto, general manager, gave me this report in spring training. He can manipulate a baseball, meaning that curveball is much better, commanding of the fastball movement, and reading hitters a plus. And Gooby, you already talked about at home 1.76. On the road, what the heck happened? 6.97. That is a 5.21 differential in ERAs, home and road.
Yeah, usually you think, okay, you're homebound and everything about pitching up there in Seattle is much better for a pitcher, but still, that's a huge difference. You're talking about a 5-point difference, home and road.
Goslin to left. Long went back. and then comes in and makes the catch. One pitch and one out. Goslin in there against the righty, but as we told you, Joe Madden kind of prefers a righty lineup against Flexen. Time now for the Home Depot Getting More Done, and we focus on Angels catcher Max Stassi.
Lockers aren't just for the clubhouse anymore. Shop online.
I mean, he's shown some pretty good power. His swing when it gets going, Rich, is right back up the middle right center, then turn on pitches inside.
When you get a bad hop, Gooby, you got to knock it down and make a play.
Yes, you do.
And here we go with the Home Depot Getting More Done.
Yeah, as far as highest OPS as a catcher for the Angels, Mike Napoli at the top, but Max Stassi a couple years in a row, very solid.
To right, and that's well hit. Haniger back at the wall, and it's gone.
Did you draw that up on purpose to show that OPS for a catcher? Max Stassi, the other way, he's entertaining us again today. It's good to see that swing from Max Stassi. When he's driving the ball right center, that's when he gets into one of those stretches where he can carry a club offensively for Max Stassi.
Gooby, he's simply getting more done.
He is. That's a breaking ball that stays upstairs. Didn't try to pull it. If he pulls that, that's a routine ground ball to shortstop. But stay back. Look how strong Stassi is. Right center, getting out there quickly. Nice play, by the way.
Stassi's last 2 years offensively have been much better than his minor league numbers, which sometimes happens with a catcher who's so concerned about receiving and throwing that the offense comes later. That is going to get into foul territory.
Remember, Joe Madden said he prefers some right-handed batter, especially in the upper part of the lineup, and look what happens. Max Stassi, a home run. That's a 5th home run allowed versus right-handed batters. 273 compared to 261 for lefties against Flexen.
Jose Iglesias now with Adam Eaton on deck. If you're just joining us, so has Adam Eaton. He is an Angel starting in right field. He's in the 7 spot, and that follows Iglesias, who had a real solid first half. The defense has always been there, and that's what Adam Eaton looks like as an Angel.
And he's the perfect guy for Joe Madden as far as situation of somehow Iglesias gets on base here. Boy, Iglesias really turned around his second half, first half I should say, when he was in New York. He crushed the Yankees. He carried that throughout the rest of the first half. Driving the ball, some power, some gap type power.
That's the rookie Kelnick out there, and he makes the catch. And here comes Eaton. Look, Joe Madden told the press today that he had a long talk with his team and talked about, hey, guys, it's time to start playing to the scoreboard. It's time to start playing to situation. We need to score runs with outs. And as you pointed out, Eaton is the perfect example of that, because that's exactly who he has been as a ball player.
Yeah, he hits the ball to all field. He has occasional power, especially on the inner half of the plate, but he's going to put the ball in play. He can run the bases well. He's going to make contact, allows Joe to put people in motion when he's at the plate.
Madden says he brings energy. He loves the way he plays the game, and he has been a fan of his for a long time. And the Angels now have 3 members of that Nationals World Championship team. Suzuki and Rendon, and now Eaton. Golf clap.
There you go.
That's a little more than a golf clap. Eaton shoots it down the line, and it's in for a hit. Racing for second, and he's got a double.
Mentioned all fields, he will hit the baseball. First hit as a halo is an extra base hit for Adam Eaton.
Joe Madden said that even though his average was right around 200, they watched tape and they felt there were a few things that they could fix or help him with. And right out of the chute, he's got a double.
It's all about bringing his hands up through the baseball. When you get into that mode where you're trying to hit everything, and even though that ball was in the air, you're trying to bring your hands up. If you're trying to lift even low pitches up in the air every time, it kind of messes up your swing. That's when they want a more level swing and be able to go inside out on some pitches. Exactly what Eaton did.
All right, Lagares is a guy that with Flexen's variety and off-speed stuff Angaris can go to the right side, to right center, and to center field.
He has 16 doubles this year. If you look back at those 16 doubles, a lot of them in the right field.
Kelnick, though, is shaded a bit towards left center. Up the middle. Dylan Moore in the dirt, and it's scooped by Ty France. Long balls. You want long balls? How about opposite field? How about Max Stassi? His 7th. It's a 1-1 game.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup, or runs one down.
Oh, you won't see a better one than that.
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
For the game today, going a little sound guard and hunt it down. That means that changeup and breaker ball need to be down or below the strike zone to get some soft contact or swing and misses throughout this game.
You know, I was told part of the job would be a very quick primer on heavy metal from the 90s especially, maybe the 80s a little bit.
Yes.
But you've got a soulmate in Joe Madden when it comes to music. Here's Crawford. Crawford line to center his first time up. Be interesting to see how Heaney approaches this top of the order. Mariners got a run in the first on a couple hits and a hit batter. 7 straight fastballs to finish off a 1-2-3 second for Heaney.
Well, even that out by Crawford against Heaney hit the ball well, and he's worked counts really, really well. Seen a lot of pitches per at bat against the Angels this year, so there's a lot of comfort in that approach at the plate for J.B. Crawford against Angels pitching.
That's a strike. That's an example of a pitch where Stassi didn't quite capture it, but home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman was on the call, and it did catch the corner. There's a 3-1 pitch. And fastball in, and Crawford turned on it. Crawford was always the apple of the eye of the Phillies. The top draft pick for the Phils, and never quite developed, and came to Seattle. Really has improved his defense. Perry Hill, who's terrific for the Mariners as an infield coach. A Gold Glove last year and a jam shot there. Fletcher to his left on over to first.
Yeah, he stayed inside pretty good for a left-handed pitching too, but his defense is excellent.
All right, get your red on. Experience Angels baseball according to your schedule by choosing the games you want to attend. The 4-game flex plan, 888-796-HALO, or visit angels.com/ticket plans for more details. Rich Waltz, Mark Gubaza, my good friend Jose Mota. Glad you're with us tonight. Mariners were hot finishing the first half. Angels had a really nice month-and-a-half run before the end of the first half, and they meet here. And an opportunity certainly for the Angels to try to keep climbing above 500 and towards the top of the West. Haniger, a single, And he takes in Mitch Haniger, 20 home runs, 16 doubles, 52 RBIs, and probably 75 trade rumors over the last couple of weeks. Goslin on a hop. Haniger does not run well, but he's in at second with a double.
And that's towards the end of the bat. It's still able to hook it down in the left field corner. Continues to have good swings against the Angels. And Andrew Heaney. Look at a changeup. It didn't have that fade action. It was more cut action on his changeup. Every once in a while he'll do that to make sure it's in the strike zone. Now 8 for 20 for Haniger against Andrew Heaney. And right away, Seattle with a man in scoring position after Max Stassi was able to tie it up.
And Haniger is a subject of rumors because I don't know that Seattle expected to be where they are right now. And there's a lot of people looking for right-handed pop, and he's got it.
You know what I would, if I'm Andrew Heaney and David Fletcher, because they're a little bit of a screen with Joe West, the second base umpire, I'd do a pickoff on him.
That's not a little screen with Joe West.
Cowboy Joe?
Yes. We haven't introduced the umpires, right? We know Bruce Dreckman's behind the plate.
Every once in a while I would look for that and see where an umpire was set up. And a more difficult thing to be able to see that is a base runner on a quick throw to second base. It's worth the gamble, especially with a runner in scoring position.
Well, they call that sometimes the daylight play, but it's tough to see that around Joe. A swing and a miss by Ty France. He was hit by a breaking ball back in the first. Nick Lentz is at first. West is at second. Edwin Moscoso is at third base, and Dreckman behind the plate.
As you can tell, Ty France likes pitches that are elevated, and he is really good even at the upper part of the strike zone, even above it. Almost like a little different version of David Fletcher as far as jumping on a pitch upstairs.
What's the difference between this inning and the second in terms of Heaney and his pitch selection and command?
And that last inning, he was out there, he got ahead, he kept that front shoulder in, his balance was great. He's a little bit quicker, jumping a little faster than normal here in this inning. And falling behind, and you're going to see swings like that against you when you're behind in the count. Against Seattle, you mentioned their batting average as a team. So you can pitch to them if you work ahead. If you're behind the count, they all of a sudden, they center in on fastballs. Or even break a pitches to catch the zone. But if you get ahead of them, they will expand, and you get a lot of chase, a lot of swing and misses.
The difference between Seattle and the Angels in one area, which has kept Seattle where they are, despite a -50 run differential, is their bullpen and their record in one-run games, which is the best in baseball. They're 19-8.
That goes together with their bullpen.
Yes.
Their bullpen's been good, and they stay in there and they get those key hits with 2 outs.
And that's how you can have the worst numbers in the American League in terms of slugging percentage, batting average, but still be 5 over. That's trouble. It's down the line by Walsh. Over for it is Eaton. Haniger around third. He's going to score. And Seattle adds another run on a Ty France single to right.
Just like that, just as you get that game tied up, they come right back and score against you again. That's something as a pitcher, your goal every single time is to have that shutdown inning, get your offense back out there. And that was upstairs, an all-speed pitch, just above the belt, and he just punches it by Jared Walsh. Never easy to get anything by Walsh at first base. That's a good piece of hitting by Ty France.
And that's part of that shift where the first baseman is compensating a little bit off the line. Here's Seager now, who put one high in the air to deep right for an out back in the first. As we noted, this is a guy who specializes in home runs and fly balls. He's been durable throughout his career, which has been a long one. This is his 11th year with the Mariners, was an all-star back in 14, won a Gold Glove that year as well.
Well, behind a lot in this inning for Andrew Heaney.
And Stassi's on his way out to the mound, and that's what you alluded to in terms of if you can command that fastball, then the breaking ball sets up. The fastball command was brilliant to finish the second, and it's erratic right now.
He threw 6 or 7 straight fastballs in the second inning, but now the command of that pitch has gone away. And you have a hitter at the plate who struggled against breaking balls this year, Kyle Seager, but he is all over fastballs. So now he can sit and look fastball.
Seager's looking for a ball he can spin on. 16 homers, 16 doubles, 50 driven in. Just a .213 average, but they'll take it with the pop. Of course, his brother has had a real nice career.
I think he's just started a rehab assignment. Corey Seager, MVP of the World Series last year.
To right and deep. And Eaton has no chance. Sit and spin. And a 2-run shot for Kyle Seager.
In the big inning again against Andrew Heaney has been the big reason why he hasn't taken that next step. The stuff is there for Heaney, but the big inning. 3-run inning here.
It's 17 now for Seager.
It's a fastball hard of the plate. Heaney knew it. Stassi wanted that fastball away. Anytime you see your catcher reaching back, you know it's not going to be a good thing against a guy who really covers fastballs, and it's a tough time with breakables, but you got to get ahead of the count.
30 at-bats for Seager against Heaney. That's his first home run. But it's a painful one for the Angels. And here's Luis Torrens. Mariners have a lot of catchers on their roster. And Torrens is a DH. Raleigh is getting the start. Tom Murphy, also a catcher.
Interchangeable parts. You're seeing that so prevalent in baseball right now. Joe Madden is definitely big on that, as far as every one of their guys got to bring 3 or 4 gloves every single time to the field.
It used to be, you know, most teams had one guy that could play. Now you've got 4 or 5 guys that can move all over the place. That one's fouled back. This is a great spot for foul balls, by the way.
Yes, it's in my opinion the best view to broadcast a game from. This right here is awesome.
I've occupied this booth for some MLB Network work, and the visiting booth here certainly. I noticed you have like some fencing up here, some netting.
Yeah.
Now, was that did that come with the booth, or did you fashion that up after you took a few?
Yeah, the fielding days are long gone. I prefer just to look up and try to avoid anything lined up this way.
Heaney misses down low. Pitch count is up, and so are the Mariners. 53 pitches. And a 4-1 lead. And of course, one of the challenges for Joe Madden in the first half was finding a bridge from starter to Iglesias in the 9th, and it's much harder to do when you have to start that building process in the 5th inning.
Yeah, you're starting to get a little bit more length out of the starters. It's been a pretty good stretch for the Angels, but you got to be more consistent as far as that. You know, the beginning part of the year from April 1st, averaging around 4.67 innings per pitch. Only the Orioles were worse, but since that point, June 1st, averaging about 5 1/3 innings pitched. So they've been much better getting deeper into games.
Chopper wide of third.
And that alleviates how many outs you have to get out of your bullpen. And every night when you're out there expecting to get, you know, anywhere between 9, 12, even more outs a game, it puts a lot of pressure on your bullpen.
This is now a 10-pitch at bat. And Torrens taps one toward short. Iglesias on the run in time to get the out. The second out of the inning. Now a word from Jack in the Box.
With triple the beef, triple the cheese, and triple the bacon, my $6.99 triple bacon cheesy jack combo, only at Jack in the Box.
By the way, I highly recommend tuning in early to catch our terrific pregame product, which today featured Mark Kubaza eating French fries, which I had the sound down at that point, so I wasn't quite sure the context of that.
It's all about getting those W's. You get a free order of fries with an Angel W. So I'll help eat those fries with those W's at the end of it. I love French fries anyhow, Rich. You'll find that out going down the road here. But yes, I love my fries.
Here's Raleigh with a big swing and a miss. You know, Heaney can be effective in the low 90s because of the rise that he gets on a fastball, which is a four-seamer and does have some late tail to it.
He's been able to run that four-seamer against Raleigh a couple times already tonight to get it by him. Just looking from that swing from Raleigh, it looks like he prefers pitches in the lower third of the strike zone. So he's not your prototypical right-handed batter where you prefer pitches upstairs. He looks like he wants it in the lower third, and that's going to be a danger spot against him. And as a pitcher, you read that. You can see that. It's the difference in the swing from a hitter that likes the ball lower third as compared to the upper third. So you just kind of keep riding that up there. And if a guy's going to swing at a pitch below the strike zone with a curveball, you can get a chase because he wants that pitch down. So that way you know as a pitcher, all right, I don't have to throw for a strike. Now I go down and in off the plate and trust my catcher to keep it in front.
Stayed up on a hop. Iglesias across the diamond. Big inning for Seattle. 3 runs, including a 2-run homer by Kyle Seager.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Jim, now that you're an analyst at MLB Network, do you find that your days are easier?
Hey, Jim, here's the research packet for tonight's show. I'll see you on the set in 5.
Maybe a little easier.
The analyst of MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Celebrate baseball with the MLB Extra Innings Package, which includes MLB.tv. Get up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices. So you can watch your favorite sport absolutely anytime you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
Seattle bottom third. Time for guaranteed rates. Believe in David Fletcher. I believe that he will hit. And he's done just that in 24 games, 43 hits. This will be at bat number 100. And the average is up over 300 at 308.
Yeah, amazing when it was 255, now 308. Also 19 runs scored during that stretch.
Jack Mayfield goes after a Chris Flexen fastball and fouls it back. Mayfield in the 9 spot. If you were with us earlier, you heard Joe Madden say he wanted his best defensive team out there, and he felt that Mayfield at third base gave him that. And Mayfield certainly knows the opponent. He was a Mariner this year.
By the way, I like the aggressive approach on first pitch against Flexen. With their bullpen, you're not looking to knock out or work a count on a starter just to get to their bullpen, because his numbers 481, a couple home runs, an OPS of 1144 on the first pitch put in play against them.
Flexen is the king of weak contact and pitch count efficiency. I mean, look at the number of pitches right now, just 23. Heaney's already up around 60.
Yeah, he's going to pitch to contact. He's going to get a lot of ground balls, and for the most part, he keeps the baseball in the ballpark, although Max Stassi hits a home run against him right center on an all-speed pitch. There's 9 home runs allowed in 94-plus innings pitched this year.
Newark, California is where Flexen is from. That's just south of Alameda up in the East Bay.
It's one of those innings, Rich, where you need the response, and the Angels have been great as far as responding after a big inning against them offensively to come right back and at least score one to allow their opponent to know they're going to be battling all the way through.
And chew up some pitches, because the last time Flexen saw the Angels, he stuck it in their ear. He beat them 2-0, 7 innings, 3 hits, didn't give up a run.
Not a big strikeout guy, so you will make some contact, but you got to go with the pitch. If you try to pull him, you'll hit a lot of soft contact to third or short, especially as a right-handed batter.
In the air, shallow right, Haniger in, Moore is out, and Moore makes the catch.
During this great stretch for David Fletcher, 24-game history, let's take a look at our play sense presented by Frontier. What he has done with pitches, whether it's the inside part of the plate, turning on them, change up off the plate, punches it in the right field. His ability to use the entire dish. So inside off the plate, outside off the plate, a break ball below the strike zone, and then a fastball above it. No matter how hard it's thrown at 95, he's going to go with it, make good contact. He is the king of contact. 94.5% contact rate in the zone.
He hit a BB right at Crawford at short. Dumps it down the right field line, and that's a base hit. And that's 25 straight, and that's extra bases for David Fletcher. Hello, Rod Carew. Tied for the second longest hit streak in Angels history.
I think everyone's going to want some kind of a read before they swing the bat. He's all the back, Stassi with a home run, and now Fletch going the other way with our play sense by Frontier. Going the other way, another pitch. That's a good pitch, you would think. And against Fletch, not so good. Picking up another double. 25-game hit streak for Fletch. Rengifo liking it in the dugout.
And here is Ohtani. Garrett Anderson at 28 games is the longest in Angel history. Carew and Fletcher now at 25. Ohtani high. Haniger in. Fletcher's not tagging. And it's the second time Ohtani has hit a fly ball out. Garrett Anderson did it in 98, Carew in 82, Fletcher doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. A line drive out and a line drive base hit.
How cool is that if you're David Fletcher? Same breath as Rod Carew for a 25-game hit streak. Grew up just right around the corner here. Fletch, always having fun.
And look, the Angels have the 2 most exciting players in baseball, Ohtani and Trout. And Ohtani is just doing unbelievable things. The nation needs to learn about David Fletcher. Major League Baseball needs to learn about Fletcher and what he's doing right now. Here's Walsh now, who bounced to second back in the first.
Hitters batting .274 with runners in scoring position this year against Flexen, but .233 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
Well, baseball got a peek at Jared Walsh really for the first time. Teams from the National League. Walsh to center field. Kelenic in his tracks. And he's there and he makes the catch. Fletch now at 25.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Carlos, where did your signature term placata come from?
Placata is just an expression my brothers and I used when we were kids. It means good, solid contact, usually resulting in a home run.
Placata! The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Get closer to the action.
You gotta be kidding me.
Closer to the big blast.
Way, way, way out of here.
Closer to the great grabs.
Took a home run away.
Closer to the jaw-dropping play.
Unbelievable.
With more highlights.
He struck him out.
More analysis. That's a big uplifting play for a pitcher.
And more live look-ins.
Wow.
Nobody gets you closer to the game.
Every night.
Only on MLB Network.
Well, we know that popularity-wise, he transcends beyond your imagination. Shohei Ohtani now has a fan club in Toronto, of all places. David Pollard is the president. How did you end up founding a Shohei Ohtani fan club in Toronto?
Way back in 2018, the Jays were hoping to grab up Ohtani. And I was offered the opportunity, should he show up in Toronto, of showing him around Toronto and convincing him that we had a large Japanese population and a great fan club that we really didn't have at the time. So I started a fan club, and he never showed up. He injured himself in the Tokyo Dome, and so he never did visit Toronto, and they never had an opportunity to even offer him the job, but they scouted him. Then he went on to sign with the Angels, but by that time I'd already started the fan club. So rather than give up on it, I notified Anaheim that the fan club was alive and well, and we formed an executive and proceeded to follow him around. In 2018, I visited Tempe, got to meet him, presented him with some Canadian mitts, maybe probably as a joke because, you know, we get teased in Canada about our long winters. And ever since then, our numbers have steadily grown, and we're over 6,000 fan club followers now on our Instagram account called Shohei Ohtani Canada.
So very quickly, you've been following Shohei since he was with the Fighters in Hokkaido.
Right. We have. So when he first was working with the Fighters, we knew he was coming. I didn't really have an appreciation of how awesome he was until another member of our club, John Ye, who followed him regularly as one of the Ham Fighters, told me, Dave, this guy is awesome. You know.
Let me ask you, being here and watching him, getting the reaction from the fans, what's your reaction?
I sent chills up my back. When he came on the field to hear the cheers, oh my gosh. I've seen him play in Toronto. And interestingly enough, our Jays fans are very loyal. But when he stepped onto the field, all of our Jay fans stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Then I followed him to New York. Well, you know what I'm going to say, right? The minute he stepped on the field in New York, the Yankee fans booed him. So big difference between the Toronto fans and the Yankee fans. But they tell me, when they boo you, you know you've made it.
Dave, thanks so much. Congratulations. I know your rising of the numbers is coming. Keep it up, because obviously anybody that loves Shohei, we also love that. So, Rich, Gooby.
Way to go, Jose. That was a very detailed answer there from our Canadian friends.
Yeah, I love that. You know, so many people are loving Shohei Ohtani, and why would you not? I mean, just look at him in the dugout there. He's already looking at an iPad. He's trying to figure out how Flexen has got him out in front a couple times already in this game on changeups, off-speed pitches. He's always trying to get better. His creativity in the batter's box and on the mound is really what separates him right now from what we've seen in the past. He is a dynamic player at this moment.
Dylan Moore at the plate. The 3-1 from Heaney is a fastball for a strike. Heaney, after a messy third, which he gave up 3 straight hits, a double, a single, and a 2-run homer to Kyle Seager. It's down the line. Will it stay fair? It does, and it hops up into the seats, and that's a double for Dylan Moore.
That's another four-seam fastball inside part of the plate. He was able to bring his hands in, not quite that velocity on his fastball, allowed him to bring his hands in. Remember that first at bat, Rich? He swung and missed at a fastball away. This time it's inside. He brought his hands in, and this hooks it down the line. Very rarely do you see a ball hook foul when it's down the line here at the Big A. And that just stayed true. Another extra base hit for Seattle here today.
Best I've ever seen that from a right-handed hitter is a former Mariner, the great Edgar Martinez.
Yes. Vlad Guerrero could do that really well. Joe Carter was incredible keeping it fair. Pitches down and in. As everyone remembers from the '93 World Series against Mitch Williams.
He'll never hit a bigger home run, I guess. You'll never hit a bigger home run. Tom Cheek, great call. Shed Long, big backswing, and it caught Max Stassi. It's a strike. The count's 1-1. Bullpen active as Wentz gets ready.
Yeah, you can't afford to fall any further, especially the way Flexen has thrown the past 2 games against the Angels. Even though his road numbers aren't great so far, he's pitched the ball well against the Angels again for Chris Flexen.
Long takes a strike. That was in, and Heaney got a break.
This is a flat breaking ball here from Andrew Heaney. Just a little bit. You can almost see that front shoulder open up so quickly. Got the benefit of that call. That's about a baseball and a half off the inside corner. That missed by a lot. Stassi wanted that one down and away.
Stassi sold it and stole it. On the ground, Fletcher to his left. On to first in time. And that is the second out. All-Star weekend for Shohei Ohtani. Joe Madden today really praised Kevin Cash for how he handled Ohtani and the game. And I think kind of thanked him as well.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, after all you did in the first half for the Angels, pitch, hit, the numbers, and they go out, participate in the home run derby, go on the mound to start the game, and then also lead off against Max Scherzer. Your first batter you faced, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, great international flavor to that All-Star game. And you talk to players, and you know this, All-Star games can be exhausting, let alone All-Star games a mile high.
Yep.
All the events that you go to, the home run contest, the home run derby, so to speak. Crawford, that one a good pitch. Heaney jammed him. Fletcher gobbles it up on to first. Seattle leaves a runner, but leads at 4-1.
It's not just because Boll & Branch organic cotton sheets are incredibly soft. They are. And it's not just that they're free from toxins and made by people who are paid and treated fairly. That's true too. It's because home is where the magic happens. And with better sheets made in safer ways, home makes the world a better place. Boll & Branch. Right now, try for 30 nights risk-free and get free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Nerds! Have new money goals this year? NerdWallet can help make them happen. Like getting auto insurance to match your new 0-mile commute? We have tools for that. Want to refinance your mortgage and put those savings into the college fund? We have tips for that too. Or get a low-interest credit card for your long-awaited honeymoon? We can help you find the one. Credit card, that is. Discover and compare the smartest credit cards, mortgage lenders, and more on NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
way, this is still happening, and it will happen the rest of this year. As Bruce Streckman takes a look at Andrew Heaney's glove, looks at the cap, looks at the belt, looks at the arms, and it's had an effect in baseball. In fact, in this game, it's had an effect on the Seattle Mariners. They are a man short because Hector Santiago, the only guy to be caught and suspended, is starting his suspension today. He's out 10 games, and he can't be replaced on the roster. So it's 25 instead of 26 men in this series for Scott Service.
That's a really big thing, too, for teams playing with one man short. Now, in this season where you've had some key injuries, a lot of different players, and the way people and managers maneuver different players around. So that's a big hit for Seattle.
That's that part of the plate, and there's a look at Service.
And that's why, as a manager and a pitching coach, you better have a pretty good idea what your pitchers are doing every single time they take the mound, because you cannot afford to lose somebody because of that.
Look, the optics, I know a lot of people didn't like the optics of being frisked with pitchers coming off. I mean, guys like Max Scherzer certainly didn't like it. But it's worked. I mean, I think if you're judging this on the end effect, which is ending the sticky stuff and the spider tack, and
you're seeing more offense. And I'm just looking at some scores today. They even look at, you see Atlanta, Tampa Bay 6-6. You see a game in Washington 19-8. Obviously, you don't want a game 19-8. But, I mean, you're seeing more offense throughout baseball and more action. That's what you want to see, more action.
Well, and it's easily measurable now in baseball with StatCast and the measurables. Spin rate is down like around 10 to 15%. And that's a big deal. That, you know, doesn't flatten a breaking ball, but it's certainly, you're not getting the video game breaking balls. And the four-seam fastballs are affected as well, and that's a nice at-bat by Goslin, who opens the fourth with a walk. You've got Stassi, who's homered, Iglesias, and then Adam Eaton here in the fourth. One run for the Angels, and it came on one swing.
And it's our top-tier play presented by Arco with the offense going the other way, all speed. Max Stassi, just how sweet that swing was. Stayed back on that one. Didn't try to turn on it. Stayed back and drove with right center for a home run. Seattle is sensing some movement here for the Angels because of Flexen with 14 ground ball double plays. You're more apt to put people in motion because he's not a swing and miss guy. He's a contact guy, so you want to keep guys in motion.
And he lives on weak contact. Fastball and a strike. Have you been to South Korea before?
No.
We heard Jose Mota talking about Flexen going to South Korea, and that has changed his career because parts of 3 big league years with the Mets, his ERA was over 8. He went to Korea last year. And Korea, if you haven't watched baseball in Korea, it's big swings and bat flips and lift and separate. And so Flexen started to throw his curveball more there because he thought, you know, with all these home runs and the style of play, it would work, and it really did. And it changed him as a pitcher. And he's walked back into the big leagues and been brilliant for Seattle. They've won 12 of his 16 starts.
I mean, he's been really good, and he's around the strike zone. This 19 walks. That's his 20th walk of the season. That's why I was impressive at bat by Goslin.
So I ask you, his approach in Korea with more breaking balls, able to get guys who are trying to launch angle, bat flip, and all of that. Has that translated, and is that the style here, and is that the type of approach you have to take here?
Well, because he's throwing his four-seam fastball upstairs, same plane with his curveball, starts there, and then the bottom drops out. So he has 2 different pitches. It's more of a north to south with his fastball and his curveball. That is very effective when guys are trying to lift the baseball out of the ballpark.
A swing and a miss there, and Stassi strikes out. Maybe as we look at Flexen's arsenal, you can talk more about what makes this guy successful.
Yeah, let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud and what pitches Flexen will throw. He will throw a four-seam fastball 37% of the time, a cut fastball also, almost like a slider 31%, his changeup and his curveball. You show that curveball how it starts and that plane upstairs and drops right down that rotation going 12-6. As compared to this four-seamer staying up there with that movement upstairs. His cut fastball is pretty good. If you try to pull that, that's where you're going to get a ton of ground balls. That's why I always felt against a guy like Flexen, you could put a hit and run on very effectively because that cutter goes to the outside part of the plate and you can go the other way.
Both starts against the Angels this year have been good. That pitch is in, and we've seen Bruce Streckman on both sides really expand the strike zone left to right.
Yeah, he's called that breaking ball on that side of the plate a number of times. Where he's set up as a home plate umpire, he's seen better exactly where that pitch is going, so he's assuming that's in the strike zone. Look where he's set up on the catcher for Streckman behind the plate.
There's your double play ground ball. It's what Flexen does best, and that ends the Angels' fourth. 4-1, Seattle.
What's worse, having erectile dysfunction or having to talk about it? You'd be surprised how many men I've talked to that struggle with that choice. And it's why I started Roman, because getting help shouldn't be difficult. With Roman, we've made it easy to connect with a healthcare professional online. They'll work with you to find the right treatment plan, and if prescribed, your medication will ship discreetly to your door. Simple, straightforward, and the way healthcare should be. Roman, let's take care of it.
When we started our company, we simply wanted better sheets. But along the way, we've realized that softer, safer, organic cotton does so much more for the planet and for humanity. It helps your home become a force for good, because home is more than just an address. Home is our soul. Boll & Branch, organic sheets, bath, and home. Right now, try for 30 nights risk-free and get free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Valley Sports is brought to you by Hyundai. See your Southern California Hyundai dealer today, because the longer you look at a new Hyundai, the more there is to like. By Jack in the Box, our $6.99 triple bacon cheesy Jack combo is here. Only at Jack in the Box, and by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. Jared Walsh's All-Star experience. You think you'll see him in left field anytime soon for the Angels?
I mean, the way Joe Madden is as far as versatility of different positions, but he has settled in. Every day he is working on that first base position. He's elite at first base.
Andrew Wantz makes his second major league appearance. Angels 7th rounder back in 2018 out of UNC Greensboro, who was a closer mostly in the minors, and that's his groove. That's that changeup that he throws almost 50% of the time.
Yeah, fastball is going to be anywhere 91 to 95 range. Slider, cutter, changeup.
A line drive to third. Mayfield is there, and the Angels finally get Haniger out. Of course, the Angels are going to have to make room for pitching because of the 20 rounds, they took 20 pitchers, 19 in college, 1 high schooler. There's your righty-lefty breakdown. There has been no time in baseball history where college pitchers have been any closer than the major leagues than they are right now.
And you might even see Sam Bachman at some point this year. I mean, his fastball, the #1 pick by the Angels, 100 miles an hour. Very good secondary pitches, too. And he had a whip of less than 0. I mean, less than 1, I should say. 0.77 whip. That means hits and walks per innings pitched. So he's not having a whole lot of traffic in 12 starts. At this moment, you're thinking of bullpen action for him, but at some point, you're going to see him back as a starter or two.
Miami of Ohio, good whip, great ERA, and he's got juice.
And that's a strong body too. 6'1", 235. They've had a couple drafts, a couple lefties at 6'7", 6'6". I'm thinking of Chuck Finley when I think of those power left-handed arms drafted out of college for the Angels. So there's a lot of good arms, and that's something the Angels needed, and they addressed it with all the picks they've had.
Ty France hit by a pitch and has an RBI single. At the major league level over the last 3 or 4 years, the technology, the Rapsodo cameras, the motion capture cameras, the biomechanics, baseball labs like Driveline have really revolutionized pitching and pitching instruction, the ability to get velocity, and that's 94 that Wentz hits there with a fastball.
That's smart pitching because he knows France likes the fastball. If he just went a little bit higher, more difficult pitch to be able to make contact with. That's maybe about 3 baseballs above the upper part of the strike zone. That's just good pitching.
And I think what a lot of Major League fans don't realize is that colleges got there first. Schools like Vanderbilt, North Carolina, Oregon State were first in on the tech. And the pitching coaches in college are advanced. That's why you're seeing Major League teams hire college pitching coaches. Colleges pay their pitching coaches quite well as well. You walk through Vanderbilt, you walk through Michigan, you walk through Oregon State, and you'll see technology and pitching labs and hitting labs that not only rival but sometimes surpass the major leagues. That's why the pitching in college is so close to the big leagues right now. Seager with a line drive. Very nice inning from Wentz.
Hey Pedro, what was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
What's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep.
Whether it's extra cheese, extra credit, or extra strength, everything's better with a little extra. And with the MLB Extra Innings package, you get more of what you love most of all, baseball. Watch up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices all season long. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
That is Adam Eaton. This is our Kia player profile of Adam Eaton. He does a little bit of everything. He's a terrific defender. If you're into defensive runs saved, and that's something that every major league team covets, he's pretty darn good at that. And he was part of that 2019 World Series championship with the Nationals. And he's now with the Angels. He doubled in the second, leads it off 7-8-9 against Chris Flexen.
Just going to think he's the guy that bunts and brings the baseball well. Ty France playing really deep. I can't believe that was called a strike.
Neither can Eaton.
That's all you can do is laugh.
Umpiring is not easy, but Bruce Dreckman has had the nice way to say it is he's had a very large strike zone, but truth is he's missed pitches on both ends. That one was well below the zone.
Dude, look, I like what Eaton was trying to do there with France playing back. If he brings that baseball down the line with him, it's a foot race. And he still runs well.
And France is not Evan White. Evan White is injured. He's a Gold Glover.
Exceptional defender.
Eaton in the air in the twilight, which is not easy. And Haniger cuts in front of the rookie Kelnick. and makes the catch. I guess the question, and Joe Madden talked about it, how is Adam Eaton going to fit? Jose Mota, you were there and you had a chance to talk to Joe about that.
Yeah, Joe said the first thing is the way he fits is he brings a lot of energy to the ballpark every single day. That's great. Check. He's won before a championship recently, obviously, with the Washington Nationals, and they think that between Jeremy Reed, Paul Sereno, and John Maley, with Eaton's attitude, they can find something in his swing or approach that can get him more productive at home plate.
Lagares goes the opposite way and rolls it into right field. Jose, that's a great point. And Kubi, to me, and look, I'm the new guy, but just looking and listening to Joe Madden today is a look at Lagares shooting it the wrong way for a moving Dylan Moore at second. Joe Madden today talked about trying to get his guys to start playing the game to win. He's not happy with the way his team's been playing, even though they were terrific in the last month and a half.
Well, you look at Juan Lagares, who got a base hit there. He altered his swing, and he's been around for a long time himself. That's why they feel that they're going to be able to do some things with Adam Eaton to make him more productive swinging the bat. And keep an eye on that play like that with Flexen. If he doesn't deflect that baseball, it's going to be a routine out. And sometimes that can really frustrate you as a pitcher. If I just let that go, that's the quick second out. Instead, now you have a base runner, and hopefully that carries on to something big. You got the top of the order coming up after Mayfield. So a play like that can really play into your mind as a pitcher. Hopefully that's going to be the case here now, with a routine ground ball ends up being a base hit for Juan Lagares.
And Madden said something that's really curious, because you don't hear it in the modern game much at all. And he said, we need to score runs on outs more often. And in this day and age of, play for the 3-run homer, you still have to figure out a way to manufacture runs, and that's something he really wants the Angels to improve on in the second half.
Yeah, when you have a man on third, a ground ball to second or short gets a run home, instead of trying to lift the ball out of the ballpark, just take that, especially with 2 strikes, take that ground ball for a run. It's a good hack there by Mayfield on a fastball up by Flexen.
Mayfield was claimed off waivers in April from Atlanta by the Mariners. Then the Angels claimed him. During spring training, the Angels had acquired him from Atlanta. This is the type of year, and you know this, as baseball players who do move around a lot end up with, sure, you're going to keep something from the team you left, but it's usually the equipment bag, because you need a bag for your stuff when you leave a team. So it's generally the team you're leaving, and you take that bag with you on the plane to the team you're joining, and you throw the bag in the closet, and then the other team sends you somewhere. So you take their bag and along with the other bag, and you go to the next team. So Mayfield's got to have like 3 equipment bags.
Yeah,
Braves,
too. You got to steal a jersey or 2.
Braves, Mariners, and Angels in his closet. Down the line. And a nice running catch by Haniger, racing back to first. There's Lagares, who was on the move. And this is Joe Madden trying to put the game in motion and stay away from what you pointed out, the double play ball.
And he's going, it looked like that's not almost a straight steal he's going on, anticipating, but Heaney able to run that one down to fair turn. Fortunate enough for Lagares, he's able to get back, because you got Fletcher up now, because off the bat I'm thinking, oh, there's a good chance that's going to be a double play ball. There's hit and runs, and then there's run and hit. I mean, it felt like he was running, and then there was a point where Mayfield's going to try to put the ball in play and make contact, but I think he was on the move on his own. He felt he could get a good jump.
You've just joined us. David Fletcher has hit the ball well twice, lined out and doubled down the right field line. His hit streak is at 25. It's alive and it's well. And he's closing in on Garrett Anderson's franchise record of 28.
By the way, you know Flexen's thinking, I got to get this guy right here, even though it's a difficult out, because look who's on deck with a chance to represent the tying run at the plate. And yeah, I've gotten him out a couple times out in front on all speed, but no one adjusts better than Shohei Ohtani on all speed.
This was the 3rd inning double.
That's a reaction by Flexen was great. He goes, oh, I thought I ran that fastball in on me. Everybody else is an out. Not against Fletch. Love that reaction by Flexen.
He does something that very few major league hitters do. On a swing like that, if you watch his feet, he will drop that back foot and slide it back. Watch the foot slide back, and it closes him out. See the foot come up and slide back?
Allows him to keep his hands back and hit that outside part of the plate so well. Elevate it, and even off-speed pitches. I mean, he can hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball up and away, but he also has slow breaker ball in that same plane.
People think that the adjustments are all with your hands, but with Fletcher, to go to right, it starts with that back foot. You know, a guy that used to do that really well and had a really nice career is Martin Prado with Atlanta and with Miami. And I asked Joe Madden, I said, you know, I brought that up about Prado. He kind of reminds me of Fletcher. And Joe had something interesting to say. He said, look, I like that comp and I love Prado, he said, but I'm more of a Dustin Pedroia guy. And if you put Fletcher at Fenway Park, the home runs would go up, because he would pull the ball to left field and get it up over the monster.
Yeah, especially on the inside part of the plate, that's where he's going to turn on it. He's not going to have a lot of power going to right center field. It's going to be pull power, and that ballpark will pepper that wall for doubles and get a few of them over the wall. Anytime you're compared to Dustin Pedroia, what a career he had for the Red Sox. Phenomenal player. That's high praise.
So Prado's my comp. Pedroia is Joe's comp. Who's your comp for Fletcher?
I always think of David Eckstein, the former Angel. I mean, everything about him, and Fletch says it himself. He was his favorite player growing up. There's a lot of similarities as far as the build, the arm strength, the contact, the occasional power. Although I think Fletcher overall is a little bit better hitter, but very comparable as far as the way they would just play the game hard every single time.
Lagares at first with 2 outs, runs well, 2-2. Fletcher in the air to left. Long is back and there and makes the catch. Angels leave a runner. Through 5, it's 4-1.
Jim, now that you're an analyst at MLB Network, do you find that your days are easier?
Hey, Jim, here's a research packet for tonight's show. I'll see you on the set in 5.
Maybe a little easier.
The analyst of MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500
Rated E for everyone.
Cam replay, and we go back to Mike Trout, All-Star Game 2013. 1 for 3 leadoff double. He starts his first All-Star Game. Jacob DeGrom at bat.
How about his career batting average in All-Star games over 400 for Trout.
Luis Torrens, swing and a miss. Andrew Wantz took over for Andrew Heaney and pitched a 1-2-3 fifth. Torrens, Cal Raleigh, Jared Kelnick. There's some really talented youth coming to the plate in this inning for Seattle, who has ridden the bat of Mitch Haniger and Kyle Seager, and Ty France Torrens had an RBI single as well. That was back in the first. Alex Claudio has started to loosen up in the Angels' pen. Torrens fouls it back.
Sometime you might see the cutter from Watts be able to get first out here now. He's got a good cutter. Imagine Alex Claudio will be ready for Kelnick. Move up third in this inning.
Heaney's night was up and down. He had some good innings. He had some rough ones. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 4. But Chris Flexen of the Mariners is back to being his frustrating self, and he's done that to the Angels a couple of times. He's gone 5, given up a run on 4 hits.
Yeah, it was one of those odd nights for Andrew Heaney. There was times where he saw a little bit better fastball, that one where he threw 6 in a row in the second inning, and then just a little bit off on his command of his fastball the very next inning. A couple curveballs that stayed in the middle part of the plate.
It's a good take there by Torrens. And the count's full at 3-2. The rotation in this series tomorrow, night 6:07 here on Bally Sports. Alex Cobb for the Angels and Yusei Kikuchi goes for Seattle. Patrick Sandoval gets the start on Sunday against Seattle's right-hander, the young Logan Gilbert.
It's going to be fun to see Kikuchi going against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani with a home run against him. Kikuchi's really thrown the ball well this season as compared to what we've seen in the past.
Yes.
Better command of all his pitches. Fastball velocity up. Alex Cobb's thrown the ball very well.
Pitch at bat here. Pitch number 10 coming in the 6th, first of 3, first game, second half. Angels and Mariners. That's a fastball, and that's line foul. On a Friday night, the crowd, it seems that the crowds are starting to get bigger and bigger as people return back to their normal routines and return back to ballparks, and in particular here at Angel Stadium. Good crowd tonight. They've been lively.
Yeah, they're just waiting for a reason to start cheering, and I think maybe then the start of the next inning, you might start seeing that again. With a certain batter leading off next inning for the Angels.
I like the fire out of this big right-hander. And they're hoping that Mike Trout is back soon. His jersey will be here on Sunday. Angels take on the Mariners at 1 o'clock. First 5,000 kids. Kids now 3 to 13 will receive a Mike Trout jersey courtesy of Angels Radio, AM 830. Angels.com/promotions. Now, before the game, Mike Trout going through his paces. The report from Joe Madden is that Justin Upton is the closest. Next in line is probably Mike Trout. And maybe the furthest away from returning is Anthony Rendon.
Those agility drills, that's great to see Trout doing them with relative ease. As you go further along in this process, at that sprint speed, you'll see both at the plate and in the outfield.
Kelnick pops it up. Mayfield looking. Iglesias behind him. And he makes the catch.
Here comes Joe Madden, where we thought he might come down and make that decision against Kelnick. Bringing Claudio in there as Rowley popped that one up. The switch hitter, power from both sides, popped that one up.
Seattle on top, 4-1.
Celebrate baseball with the MLB Extra Innings Package, which includes MLB.tv. Get up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices, so you can watch your favorite sport absolutely anytime you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
Jim, now that you're an analyst at MLB Network, do you find that your days are easier?
Hey, Jim, here's a research packet for tonight's show. I'll see you on the set in 5.
Maybe a little easier.
The Analyst of MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Brought to you by your Southern California Chevy dealers. By Morongo Casino, Resort and Spa. And by San Diego Gas and Electric. Good love from Sal Perez. Ohtani at the All-Star game. First game, second half, 4-1 Seattle on top. And Angels go into their third arm of the night. Alex Claudio takes over for Andrew Wantz. Andrew Heaney went 4. Wantz goes 1 2/3.
Good job by Wantz there. Real good command of the strike zone, above the strike zone when he needed to.
There are a lot of fans in Seattle. They're really pulling for this young kid. And he's a little less younger today. This is his birthday. This is Kelenich's birthday, and he's back in the big leagues. There's a lot of fans in New York, Met fans, who are dreading the day when this guy gets rolling, because that was a trade that a lot of Met fans weren't all big on, especially after Edwin Diaz did not perform the way they liked it. Of course, Robinson, Cano, and his contract were part of that deal, but Diaz was the main piece going to the Mets. And this guy, one of the best young hitters in the minor leagues, became a Mariner.
Well, the Mets feel a little bit better this year because they're in first place in the NL East. There's a lot of talent in Kelenic. He's a very good outfielder, can run. He's got 3 stolen bases. There's that pitch on the inside part of the plate. And then the pitchers have gone away against him. We got him to chase pitches out of the strike zone. See if that pattern continues.
Kelenic went down to the minor leagues after going 8 for 83. And he went 306, 386, 622 on his slash line. And the slugging at 622 is really impressive. 7 homers in 24 games. And now he's back. And that has been a strike, and I know it's not, but for Bruce Streckman on both sides, and you pointed it out, that's like a ball or a ball and a half in or a ball and a half out. He's been consistent, which I know umpires want to be accurate, which will bring consistency.
I still go back to where he is set up behind the plate on certain pitches.
Kelenic, Lagares, and in full stride, Lagares runs it down. Angels down. Ohtani leads it off.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Whether it's extra cheese, extra credit, or extra strength, everything's better with a little extra. And with the MLB Extra Innings package, you get more of what you love most of all, baseball. Watch up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices all season long. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
When he hits them, they stay hit. He has had a lot of no-doubters. Tatis, Mike Zunino, an all-star this year.
That's amazing. 17 no-doubters. That's a home run in all 30 Major League ballparks. Shohei Ohtani. Having a good time, too. That's the thing that you love seeing from Shohei Ohtani this season. Just how much fun he's having. See if he adjusts on some off-speed pitches. Might try to show a fastball in.
He's 0 for 2. He's flied out to right twice. He is 1 for 6 against Flexen. That one was a home run. Fastballs, 19 of them have left the yard. Flexen doesn't throw a lot of them.
He's not overpowering with his fastball. It's around 89, 91. That's perfect right there.
That's, you know, when you come to the game, you want to be ready. That's organization right there.
Yes.
0-2. Ohtani, Walsh, Goslin. Angels down 4-1.
Boy, Seattle's really pitched Shohei Ohtani well, not only this season, but throughout Shohei's career. This is 212. He does have 9 home runs. 3 home runs this year, but a 171 batting average.
That's saying something, because I remember a game where Ohtani had 4 hits, including, I believe, either a homer and 2 doubles or 2 homers and a double. But in the overlay of the pitches and the swings, 4 different pitches, 4 different zones. So to be able to pitch him successfully.
That's where they've been successful, especially Flexen against him, his changeup. And if he can get Shohei to chase out of the strike zone, Shohei's been really good. Remember going way back early in the season, it was against Toronto. They were throwing some changeups down in Dunedin out of the off the plate like that, and he was chasing. And finally, he brought the changeup in the zone, and then boom, a couple of home runs. He chases that one out of the strike zone. Doesn't do it too often lately. That's a pretty good pitch by Flexen on a changeup.
Cutters and changeups have been the diet that Flexen has fed Ohtani and the rest of the Angels for that matter, and that's going to be a nice hit against the shift. Walsh bangs it into center field for a hit. His first hit of the night. He's 1 for 3, and it brings Goslin up.
That's really cool to see the youngsters enjoying themselves here at the ballpark. Great view. Remember, Goslin had a real good bat against Flexen, who worked the walk. If I'm Goslin right now, anticipating a first pitch fastball, I'm jumping on it. Even though you walked last time to show some patience, be ready to jump on a first pitch.
Goslin, of course, who crushes left-handed pitching and is almost always in there against lefties. In against Flexen, who Joe Madden said pitches like a lefty, and there's that pitch again. It's been called a strike all night for both sides, but the hitters certainly don't like it.
That's frustrating too, because you're tracking this well off the strike zone. It is, and when you see a catcher with that much movement bringing it back in the zone, that tells me as a home plate umpire it's not a strike. If you keep it there, present it in the strike zone, you might get that call.
That's why, you know, look, I know robot umpires are probably going to be here, but I always thought it would be helpful at some point during the game for an umpire right now in this age to know where that pitch is, because we know where it is at home. The hitters know, and the umpires do find out. Catchers will go watch the video. Hitters will come back next at bat and say, hey, you were right or you were wrong.
I'm still a firm believer if a catcher moves his glove that much, he's telling you it's not a strike, correct? Otherwise, he's just keeping it right there in the zone.
Goslin, a little tapper. Crawford's turn, not in time. Walsh is out. Goslin is safe. And Stassi will get in at bat with 2 down.
There's that soft contact again against Flexen. Trying to get another double play turn. Crawford got a lot on that throw, but just slow enough where Goslin runs well to be able to prevent that double play from being turned.
That sounds like it should be a postseason award, right? The king of soft contact. Which pitcher has the most soft contact? I don't know what the trophy would look like. Probably something soft. Right? But
give him a sponge.
I mean, we're so into velo and, best fastball, best spin rate. What about softest contact? There's got to be a sponsor out there, Downey or somebody that would jump on that.
There's some toilet paper that soft talk. Soft. So yes.
I didn't want to go there, but I hear you. Stassi's homer was to right, opposite field, his 7th. That's the only blemish on Chris Flexen tonight.
And if you're not overpowering, soft contact is an absolute must for you on the mound.
Missing barrels, I guess another way to say it.
And changing speeds, creativity with your pitches.
And to left field, Stassi's got a 2-hit night. Inning is still alive. And headed to third, and getting there is Gosling.
That's big because every once in a while you could steal a run on a pitch in the dirt. It takes away that nasty break ball as a pitcher when there's a guy at second as compared to third. So it gives Iglesias a better chance to get a barrel on the bat here. Went down and got that curveball. Stassi, although it stayed on the inner half, and a nice job of bringing his hands in, even though, remember, he had an off-speed pitch out to right center.
And this is what Joe Madden was talking about today when he talked to his team well before batting practice. And we need to start playing the game a little differently. We need to start playing it to the scoreboard and doing little things better.
And when you see that as an outfielder now, you're more apt to charge a baseball. That's when you make mistakes. When you go base to base, they're going to stay back. But when you have guys going first to third, they're going to be more aggressive.
Iglesias tops that one to third. Seager's pretty darn good there. And he throws him out. Angels lead 2 and trail it by 3.
Everywhere you go, everything you do, you can always take the game with you.
And you can bring your friends.
Hey, Uncle Dan.
Zach, go ahead.
So, what's your approach after a bad show?
A bad show? You think I had a bad show?
Well, you flubbed 2 lines in the intro segment. How did you feel about that?
How did I feel? Next question.
Okay. What was on your mind when?
What was on my mind? Boy, I hope my nephew Zach doesn't ask any dumb questions.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions. Only on MLB Network.
Closer to Shohei Ohtani tonight. Vladdy Jr. Left field in Buffalo. Rush hour is over. And that one is on the expressway. Well, I'll be honest, I don't know if that's an expressway out there, but it's pretty impressive. 2 homers coming out of the All-Star game. And Vladdy Jr. is he's dynamic.
How often do you hear that carry over the momentum from an All-Star game? Well, MVP of the All-Star game carried over a 2-home-run performance tonight. 30 home runs. There's that incredible young talent in baseball. Top 3 there. Shohei Ohtani, Vlad Jr., Tatis Jr.
Dylan Moore shed long, and J.P. Crawford for Seattle. Dylan Moore, who doubled back in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd. Andrew Heaney went 4. Andrew Wentz, an inning and 2/3. Claudio finished the 6th, got a line drive from Kelnick. Moore has doubled and struck out. 6 hits apiece for the Mariners and the Angels. Angels had left 5 on. And it's 1-1. This is a for the Angels. We said at the outset, there's urgency and there's opportunity here in the second half. That's a strike, at least it should be, and it's not, according to Bruce Dreckman. And the count is 2-1, because in 13 games leading up to the trading deadline, the Angels have these 3 against Seattle, 2 on the road at Oakland, 4 on the road at Minnesota, 3 against Colorado, and then Oakland comes in, starts a 4-game series, but only 1 of those games is before the deadline.
You just got to start playing better baseball against teams in your division.
Yes.
It's been a struggle. 15-22 for the Angels against AL West teams. And here you are, start of a 3-game set, and you mentioned Oakland.
Yep.
2-game and then 4 against Oakland at home after that road trip. So yeah, there's some ground to be made up, but you got to get everything in order.
That's into right field. Dylan Moore goes the other way. Eaton over to get it. Join your Angels every Saturday here at home at the Big A, and stick around for fireworks. Post-game Saturday night fireworks. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details. Good crowd here on a Friday night. Ohtani bobbleheads, fireworks tomorrow. And then this series wraps up on a Sunday afternoon. Well, Saturday and Sunday here on Bally Sports. Runner goes, good jump, throw to first, got him picked, and he's out. That's a smooth transfer by Jared Walsh at first.
Exactly, Rich, and that's something he works on every afternoon before batting practice, whether it's fielding a ground ball or making a throw. He's a former pitcher, good two-way player himself, but this is a great throw. It clears the path to get a good view forward. Glacius to be able to catch that throw quickly over second, be able to apply the tag. It was all because of that perfect throw from Walsh. Nice job by Alex Claudio to be able to pick him off as well.
Shed Long takes a strike. See, for me, that makes it more impressive because everybody knows he was a two-way player at Georgia and a pitcher. And look, I don't mean to be derogatory towards you, but
I think you're thinking about it.
But
though.
There's a lot of pitchers who can't throw straight when they're not on the mound, right? I mean, you get them off the mound and making a play like that, it's, you know, over the head or wide, but
he stayed in that athletic position, that angle he threw that, and that's why he practices that every single day on the throw to second base, whether it's a 3-6-3 double play or even a pickoff. That's what makes him so good at first base, Jared Walsh, his practice at it.
And you know what? In a pinch, if you need a left fielder, call Jared Walsh.
And Chris Bryant's thinking, all right, I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm going to get a couple home here. But Walsh, he goes, nah, I'm going to slide in and make the play. How about that? Your first All-Star game, the game really on the line. He slides in there. This matter of factly, I'll make a great play. He's got a lot of confidence in his defensive abilities, but it's not because he doesn't just kind of walk out there with his talent. He works on that all day long. And that's the thing that's so impressive about Walsh, his work ethic. And that's what Joe Madden always says about him, how hard he works.
Look, you don't become a all-star from 38th draft position if you're not into working and getting better. Shed Long dumps a hit into center field. A couple of hits against Claudio here in the 7th, and now a quick word from Kia.
It's summer, so wherever you get out and go, you can count on a Kia to take you there.
4-1 ball game. Seattle on top. First game, second half. Joe West is pointing at you, Mark Gubicza. You saw that. J.P. Crawford. An 0-for-3 start. Claudio has that waggle. And he gets strike one. In the American League West, we were talking about opportunity. Houston, a 7-1 win over the White Sox. That's a battle of teams with great records.
They played really well against the White Sox this year, the Astros.
Yeah, Houston's now 56-36. Oakland 3-3 as they open up the second half at home against Cleveland, and that's bottom of the 6th.
They were up 3-0 in that game, but Cleveland's battled back. Boy, Cleveland's had to deal with a lot of injuries to their pitching staff.
Well, Seattle is just like the Angels. They're trying to chase down that second wild card spot, which is currently occupied actually by Oakland. So they see the opportunity and the urgency too. That pitch is almost impossible to hit fair.
Yeah, it's off the inside part of the plate, yet he's feeling really good about having the bat quick enough to get anything on the inside part of the plate. So you would think now for Alex Claudio, you're going to try to flip something off the plate, but down and away. See if Max Stassi can give him a target down and away off the plate.
Long is leaning, not running, and that one is hooked. And is it fair or not? It's foul. Until the ball passes first base, it's the home plate umpire's call. And Bruce Dreckman put 2 hands up. Walsh turns around and asks Nick Lentz, hey, how come you didn't call that? But it's the home plate umpire's call until it goes past the bag.
It's a good view to see if this baseball hooks foul, and you can see it's hooking foul. Bruce Dreckman right away throwing up his hands as a foul ball. And that's one of those things that's a tough one as a first baseman. Usually you're banging going right to second base. You've got to be quick on that throw.
Yeah, because if he really charges the ball to go get it, he's not in a position to throw to second. So he's setting his feet, so to speak, at the same time. 0-2.
Well, that's a real good pitch.
And on a night where the strike zone has been wide and wider.
He froze everybody on this one. He went fastball at 86. And that's crossing the front part of the plate in the strike zone.
On this one, it is tight and tighter. This is a pointed at bat by Crawford, who's been behind the whole time. And he reaches out and rolls it towards Fletcher. Backhand flip. Iglesias turn. Not in time. Crawford can run. That's almost an impossible ball to turn a double play. And both Fletcher and Iglesias were on it.
They did everything you could, but Crawford running down the line quickly. That quick flip. Fletch over to Iglesias. Drags that foot across the base, but still Crawford able to beat it out. Joe Madden looks like he'll go down righty on righty here. Nice job by Alex Claudio today.
Yeah, you got Mitch Haniger, who's dangerous, who has a couple hits, including a double, and is lined out. And so Madden asks for the baseball. Claudio, a nice effort here. Still 4-1, Seattle.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have a
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Hey, Pedro. Hey, Pedro. What was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
What's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Celebrate baseball with the MLB Extra Innings Package, which includes MLB.tv. Get up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices, so you could watch your favorite sport absolutely anytime you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
Fireworks. Before that, Alex Cobb is on the mound tomorrow night. Last 2 starts brilliant. 13 innings, an earned run, 11 punch outs, and just 8 hits.
He's been getting a lot of ground ball action along with the punch out so far this year in 2 starts against Seattle. 1-0. Solid ERA, 3.65.
And tomorrow night we'll be on the air at 5:30 for Angels Live. Kent French will be hosting. Patrick O'Neill will be watching from Cabo San Lucas, I've been told.
Yeah, I know he's been taking quite a few photos down there, enjoying his vacation.
Really?
His wife Summer just celebrated a birthday just a couple days ago.
Well, we look forward to his well-tanned return. Dylan Bundy now is trying to work his way back into the rotation. You can see the numbers are not great this year. He's got an opportunity here to get a good hitter and a dangerous one, and Mitch Haniger. It's certainly a lot different look than Claudio. Bundy comes in at 90.
Interesting, Rich, to bring in Dylan Bundy because Crawford can run pretty well. Been caught 3 times, 3 stolen bases, and Dylan Bundy has been susceptible to a stolen base. With Claudio, you're going to take that away. You're trusting Dylan Bundy to hold the baseball enough to keep Crawford at first base and get that righty versus righty matchup, because he will run, and it's a tough time for Max Stassi to throw out a base runner with Dylan Bundy on the mound.
You compiled a list of your must-do in the second half for this Angels ball club. For Dylan Bundy to straighten it out and get back into the rotation and get back where he wants to be, what would that list look like?
It really is all set up. You know, last year, I mean, his fastball velocity is down just a little bit, but really last year his slider and his curveball were unhittable. He's had a lot of pitches in the strike zone. He's had a lot of trouble finishing off batters when he's ahead of the count 0-2. He's behind 2-0 here.
Haniger gets into one, left center field. Lagares on the run at the track, and it's gone. And that's why he's dangerous. 21 for Haniger. 3rd hit of the night. 6-1 Seattle.
Well, now that's now 14 career home runs for Haniger versus the Angels, including a grand slam up in Seattle. Got himself in a real good count. Went down and got a low pitch and drives it out. That's a huge home run for Seattle. Those add-on runs you're trying to avoid. A close game, you wanted to have that going against a bullpen, a good bullpen, but you wanted a close one.
Ty France takes a strike. This is what Seattle does. They do hit home runs. They've hit 112 on the season, 2 of them tonight. They don't manufacture runs very well. But when they get a lead, their bullpen holds it, and they have a substantial lead here at 6-1. That's into left and well hit. Goslin approaches and plays it on a hop. And in this day and age, they really rely on the long ball. Almost 50% of their runs have come as home runs. And we've said it before, their batting average, slugging percentage, OPS is the worst in the American League, but they're so good in one-run games. This not one of those. That's how you have a -50 run differential and get 5 games over 500.
Opportunistic when a pitcher makes a mistake at the plate. Playing pretty solid defense and a really good bullpen. Gives you a shot at winning those one-run games. You know, that could turn around quickly. You had a lot of success in the first half in those one-run games. But right now, the way they're swinging early on here, started the second half, they're showing some pretty good power. Usually you see teams struggle right out of the gate after the All-Star break because your timing's off. Right now, speaking of timing, Dylan Bundy's timing's off. He's been out of the strike zone a couple times, 2-0. And he's hit the heart of the plate a couple times for a hard single and that 2-run home run.
And this is not a guy you want to lay a 2-0 cookie up to. Because Seager is already homered. And he takes a strike. Off-speed pitch at 81 miles an hour.
Henniger now 4 home runs against the Angels this year. 4.
I think most people in baseball, and look, you've seen all the games this year, would say if the Angels had more pitching, obviously they'd be better in the standings. If Seattle had a little more hitting and a little more on base, they'd be higher in the standings, because I think they've got the pitching. Their starters are pretty good. Their bullpen's been good. That's a little looper going to fall in front of Gosling. Nobody in baseball has exactly what they want. And that's kind of the intrigue of the next 2 weeks and the trading deadline for teams and general managers.
That's why you feel there's going to be a lot of activity as far as teams in that buyer's mode as compared to sellers. But it's all going to come down to how teams get out of the gate here in the second half if they become sellers as compared to buyers too.
Dylan Bundy trying to figure it out. From up here, we see what we see, but Jose Mota has a better view. Jose, what do you see?
I think one of the things you got to look at is mechanically where he is, and Gooby, you know very well. Once you are a lifetime starter, you know that your mindset needs to change, because there's urgency when they bring you into a game, and a lot of times for a guy that's been starting for a long time, he knows in his mind that I have time. I've had time before to get ready to make that pitch again, but now, Gooby, the mentality changed, and I think overall, even his mechanics just do not look as fluid as we saw early in the season, and even going back to last season.
Yeah, you want that drive towards home plate. You want to be aggressive. A lot of times when you pitch out of the bullpen, you become more aggressive because that phone rings and you're ready to go. But falling behind in the count is not a good recipe out of the bullpen. As a starter, you can make some adjustments going forward, but you got to make sure you work ahead of the count coming out of the bullpen. You don't want to put yourself into those hitters' counts, and it's not getting that drive on that back leg. Still go back to, remember when he turned early in the season, he turned his foot, landing foot, against Seattle, as a matter of fact. And from that point forward, he didn't quite have that drive towards the plate, and that's really effective. I think even a split finger changeup and a number of different pitches for him, especially his secondary pitches.
Well, and look, as a hitter and as a pitcher, everything starts with the lower half. And any time you have to make an adjustment or you have an injury to that lower half. I mean, that's why when we watch the video of Mike Trout going through the agility drills, it's not like, hey, how's the calf feel? Let's get you back in there. It's, you got to make sure that you can be explosive, and he's as explosive as any player is.
When you're looking at a batting average of .261 on 0-2 counts this year, just see what kind of finish Bundy can have on this.
Torrens takes outside corner. Bundy dodged the corner, but 2 more runs for Seattle. Mitch Haniger again, a 2-run shot and a 5-run lead.
It's not just because Boll & Branch organic cotton sheets are incredibly soft. They are. And it's not just that they're free from toxins and made by people who are paid and treated fairly. That's true too. It's because home is where the magic happens. And with better sheets made in safer ways, home makes the world a better place. Boll & Branch. Right now, try for 30 nights risk-free and get free shipping at bollandbranch.com.
Nerds! Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find the credit card to make them happen. Want to earn enough points for a weekend of fancy camping? We have options for that. Maybe have a better credit card than your older sister. We have comparison tools for that. Or find a card that lets you donate your cash back to food banks. We have tips for that too. From low rates to the best rewards, easily discover and compare the smartest credit cards. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
T-Mobile coverage cam on a nice crowd here on a Friday night at the Big A. Crowds starting to get bigger. People getting back to the routine of coming out for baseball. And so far, the crowd has been waiting for the Angels to get rolling. But the man on the mound has been dynamite against the Angels this year. Adam Eaton leads it off. Juan Lagares, Jack Mayfield to follow. 7, 8, 9 in the Angels order. And you've got Chris Flexen, who in 17 innings against the Angels this year has given up just 4 runs.
He hasn't been wowing you with 99-mile-an-hour fastballs. He's been his four-seam fastball, cut fastball, good changeup, and slow curveball. He doesn't hurt himself with the walks. You got to bunch those hits together against him.
Eaton doubled down the left field line in the second. There's probably a few fans that are tuning in and saying, wait a minute, Adam Eaton is an Angel? And who's this play-by-play guy, by the way? So they're a little confused. Well, Eaton signed after being released by the White Sox. Great defensive outfielder. Angels are hopeful they can perk up his bat. Shoots that one the other way. Seager a step to his right.
Yeah, Chris Flexen's kept the batters off balance, play sense by Frontier, especially when you look at against Shohei Ohtani. Cutter in off the plate, so the changeup towards the outer part of the plate, out in front enough to get a fly ball, and then this changeup starts on the outside corner, drifts well off the outside part of the plate for a swing and miss. So he's kept the batters off balance, and especially Shohei Ohtani tonight.
Fastball to Lagares, who poked a hit to right. I mean, and Joe Madden talked about it. For Flexen, the approach almost looks like it has to be middle or away for the right-handed bats.
Back to a couple good swings in this game for the Angels against him. Stassi go to right center field for a home run. There's been good swings by, Fletch out over the plate, hit the ball the other way. If you try to pull him, it's difficult, because you play right into his hands if you're doing that. And he'll make mistakes inside. If the breaking ball stays in the inner half, you can turn on that one. Stassi was able to do that in his second hit of the game. But you want to make sure you stay back and think the other side of the field.
It's not often that a guy who doesn't light up the radar gun breaks a glove.
That makes you feel good, by the way.
It does. Although that glove looked more like a knuckleball glove that catchers use. Right? I mean, that looks like a soft, like a beefed up first baseman's glove that you see guys use to receive knuckleball pitchers.
Yeah. One thing you always wanted as a pitcher, you wanted a guy with a glove that you could hear that sound when you have a good firm fastball. There's a few catchers we used to joke around and say, yeah, like a silencer back there where you don't hear the sound of the glove. Like, what, am I not throwing hard? Oh yeah, you're throwing hard. Well, I don't hear any sound out of that mitt. I want to hear some sound.
You pitchers. Right field, Haniger has room, drifting back, and he makes the catch on the track. But that's the approach that Lagares got the single with in the fifth, and he almost drove that one out. Here comes Mayfield.
When Heaney able to run back there, all the injuries he's dealt with. Remember when we saw him with Seattle, he was fearless out in the outfield, diving for baseballs, running the wall. You want to see him be a little more cautious. I think he was going back on that one to make sure he knew exactly where he was on the warning track and where the wall was in right center to keep him healthy on the field for Seattle.
Mayfield pulls it. Busy night for Seager. Quick inning for Flexen. And the king of soft contact is just that tonight.
Nerds. Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find the mortgage lender to make them happen. Like getting a low rate on a downtown loft? We can help find the right lender. Or move out of the city since you're virtual now? We can find you loans for that. Want to refinance your home, free up cash, and redo your kitchen/home office? Yup, we've got tips for that too. Whether you refi or buy, easily discover and compare the smartest mortgage lenders. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
I was born to be the next big thing. No telling where I'm going, but I'll show you what I mean. Like, na 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 na. You see me moving, but they're never gonna catch me.
It's the third time that he's faced the Angels. You can see what he did the last time on July 10th, and he's almost duplicated that. He did give up a run on the Stassi homer, but 7 more innings. Not a lot of pitches, too. I mean, if needed, he could keep going. Just 79 pitches. I mean, we talked about the weak contact, but he's all about pitch count efficiency as well.
Yeah, I mean, we get so caught up in strikeouts and swing and misses and swing and miss percentages. 2 strikeouts, but 8 ground ball outs in the game, including a double play ball. So he did his job keeping the ball down on the ground and avoiding that barrel of the bat and the hard contact.
Jose Quintana out of the bullpen. Joe Madden was really and I know I've referenced his conversation, but he had a long media session today, and in person for the first time this year. And everybody who asked him that question, what do you need for the second half to go your way? And he's right out of the chute. Everything starts with pitching. Cal Raleigh, Jared Kelenic, Dylan Moore. Seattle has 6 runs. 2 2-run homers have helped. Kyle Seager and Mitch Haniger have provided those.
When you look at the teams around baseball that are having successful starts in the first half, San Francisco, yeah, they've hit some home runs. Their starting staff has been great. Boston, their starting staff has been great. Their bullpen solid too, but it all is started around your starting pitching. If you get a chance to get starters to get you into that 6th and 7th inning consistently, you got a chance to win every single time out, especially when everyone's back in the lineup for Joe, man. It might be sooner rather than later, hopefully, where you get that entire lineup back in there. But for the time being, the guys have been pretty solid getting enough runs across. The defense has gotten a lot better than what we saw in the beginning part of the season, but it's all set up and needs to be set up around the starting staff.
Raleigh pops it. Walsh. Now a quick word from Hyundai.
Hey, it's your journey. Own it.
I've been saying throughout the show that this really feels like and looks like a good crowd, and it's the highest attendance of the season, 40,880. Kelenic struck out his first 2 times and lined out and gets himself a base hit. And for that young man on his birthday, he's starving for hits after the start that he had. And that's going to draw a little bit of relief and take off a bunch of pressure.
He wants to avoid those secondary pitches later in the count, so he's going to be aggressive, and he gets a fastball there, and it's went right through the hole between short and third.
Here's Dylan Moore. Fireworks tomorrow night. Alex Cobb And Yusei Kikuchi, the Kikuchi-Otani matchup. I'm expecting you to know your Japanese League nicknames tomorrow night from the Pacific League and the Central League.
Is that my homework for tonight?
That's your homework for tonight. Otani played for the Nippon Ham Fighters. And I always thought, you know, as a kid growing up, I followed baseball, obviously, and followed some of the Japanese teams. And then as I started to do games at the Major League level, and then got to do the World Baseball Classic, and that name, I always thought, why are they fighting with Ham? What? Are they fighting Ham or are they fighting with Ham? And Nippon Ham is a meat packing company, and Fighters is the nickname. It took me probably 35 years of my life before I realized that.
So you got really in depth as far as your research.
That flight to Tokyo is pretty long. So that line shot, Fletcher's got it. Flip, got him! That's a double play and a sweet pick by Walsh.
That just goes to show you how great a player David Fletcher is. Line drive, gets rid of it so fast in that stretch and scoop by Walsh.
That is some defense. Bottom 8, 6-1.
I was born to be the next big thing. No telling where I'm going, but I'll show you what I mean. Like, na 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 na. You see me moving, but they're never gonna catch me.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have a
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Everywhere you go, everything you do, you can always take the game with you. And you can bring your friends.
Carlos, where did your signature term placata come from?
Placata is just an expression my brothers and I used when we were kids. It means good, solid contact, usually resulting in a home run.
Placata! The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Angel Stadium. Buy, manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. All lit up, 40,000 plus inside, and this is the play of the night defensively.
And this is a line drive right back up the middle. That Prince of Mind, David Fletcher getting rid of that baseball that quickly on the transfer, and a nice scoop by Walsh at first base, but all set up by Fletcher's quick reaction in the transfer to get rid of that baseball quickly. We always talk about his offense, and it's easy to do that with Fletcher, but his defense, Joe Madden raves about his defense, and as usual, every time you make a great defensive play, it's almost mandatory, Rich, to lead off an inning.
And if you're late to this game, Fletcher has extended a hit streak to 25, tying Rod Crew second all-time, and he loops that one. I was going to say lines, but then it started to loop, and it dies in right field for a hit. And there again is that back foot slide, close off the front side. Watch the back foot.
I got to believe he's got to be a good bowler, too. This is great form on his bowling. Fletch turns a double play, and right away gets it started with a base hit. Not exactly exit velocity you're looking for, but it's well placed. Jose Molina thinking, you know what, that's good contact. by Mr. Contact.
On this date in 1941, Joe DiMaggio, who's from my hometown, by the way, extended his hit streak to 56 games. Fletcher's at first. Misevich out of the bullpen for Seattle. Anthony Misevich. After 7 frustrating innings of Chris Flexen. Not for Flexen, but certainly for the Angels.
And Misevich fastball, 86-92, curveball, slider, changeup.
Ohtani lifts that one. Foul. We were marveling at how Shohei Ohtani handled the All-Star game and all of the commitments. And home run derby, starting the game, leading off for the American League. You do get money when you go there as an All-Star. Ohtani got $150,000. He took that money and gave it to Angels staff members.
That's great. I mean, that's the kind of person that Shohei Ohtani is.
How about that?
Incredible human being.
And I'm sure much like Ichiro did when he came to the United States. And you can see it with the signs behind home plate. The endorsement deals in Japan are many and lucrative. And Ohtani is just getting started with that. And it's big. I'm telling you.
He's a huge star all around the world. And it's getting bigger and bigger here in the States. And it's phenomenal what he's doing. It's incredible.
That one to the screen. Fletcher to second.
And no matter what the score is, when you're a pitcher, you're facing Shohei Ohtani, there's a level of stress on you, and that's an overthrown pitch well out of the strike zone.
Misevich is a strikeout guy.
I'm guessing Shohei's going to get a fastball here. About 41% fastball rate, 41% slider on a 3-1 count.
Infield swung to the right side. Ohtani just missed that breaking ball. Full count, 3-2. 33 home runs. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has homered twice today or tonight. You can see Crawford, Moore, and France. But the outfield, it's on the ground that he pulls it. Outfield is straight up. Got him with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Timing just off a little tonight for Ohtani. That's a pitch. He hits out the left center, way out. But just a little bit late on it. A lot of all-speed pitches he's seen throughout the entire game, whether it was Flexen or here.
Now Walsh. Fletcher still at second. That's a liner. That's a hit. And that's a run. Fletcher will score. Walsh an aggressive turn. And it's 6-2.
2 for 4 night for the All-Star. Jared Walsh picking up an RBI, getting him 66 RBIs. And that was good base running. Fletcher, that baseball was by and in the outfield. He was scoring easily on this with a good read. Upstairs, 94 to straight back up the middle. That's a great swing by Walsh.
Sometimes when you struggle against a guy that is soft everywhere in Flexen and good, seeing 95, 96 is actually a relief. Henniger. And boy, that one carried pretty well. Walsh tagged, but he'll hold first.
Well,
Goslin is out.
That was just the matchup you want, especially against a lefty for Goslin, who crushes left-handed pitching. He just missed that one.
Well, Stassi had the only run against Flexen. And until that Walsh single, the only run of the night for the Angels. He's got 2 hits. This was the second inning.
That's a cutter. Just went with it. This short through the baseball. How strong Stassi is. 7th home run, 17 RBI for Stassi. Couple hit game.
Run across, Walsh at first. Stassi fouled it back. I mentioned earlier that Stassi's numbers the last 2 years are better than his career numbers in the minor leagues. With the Angels, coming into tonight, and obviously 2 hits and a homer, better tonight. 288 average, 366 on base, and a slugging percentage at .512. That's well above his career numbers coming in, and that's a great sign. High pop. Haniger long run. And he makes the catch. A Walsh RBI single, but still a 4-run Seattle lead.
Get closer to the action.
You gotta be kidding me.
Closer to the big blast.
Way, way, way out of here.
Closer to the great grabs.
Took a home run away.
Closer to the jaw-dropping plays.
With more highlights.
He struck him out.
More analysis. That's a big uplifting play for a pitcher.
And more live look-ins.
Wow!
Nobody gets you closer to the game.
Every night.
Only on MLB Network.
Celebrate baseball with the MLB Extra Innings Package, which includes MLB.tv. Get up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices, so you could watch your favorite sport absolutely anytime you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
Why not with David Fletcher? Rodney Klein-Carew at 25. Fletcher has joined him. Garrett Anderson. And he's 3 away from that. And here are the hits. This was that hit to start things for his night after he had lined out that double in the 3rd. And in the 8th, exit velocity, let's not even look it up.
All you got to do is look at reaction for pitchers after they give up. It's beautiful to see those reactions. Like, oh, I made a good pitch and he got another hit. That's what makes it so difficult against David Fletcher. He hits every pitch he throws. Upstairs, below the strike zone, in the zone, out of the zone. His contact rate out of the zone, 84.3%. In the zone, 94.5.
Shedlong, J.P. Crawford, Mitch Haniger for Seattle. And Long takes down low. 4-run lead here in the 9th.
By the way, exit velocity 67 miles per hour and 62.
Thank you. Look, I'm just worried about getting the right guys in the right spot. I don't have time to check StatCast on everything, so I appreciate your help on that.
By the way, Fletch is, just joking around and, oh, whoa, look at that jersey. I like it.
Thumbs up.
Yes. We're going back to Fletch, because we mentioned Joe DiMaggio earlier on this day, 56-game hit streak. He said, you know what, I'm calculating, I'll have my 55-game hit streak in New York because the Angels got to go back there and play one game. I'll get my 55th hit there, 55th game hit streak there. And that's just the beauty of Fletch. He's just having a lot of fun with this, as only Fletch would say. Everybody else would oh, don't even mention the history. Don't even mention it to me. That's one of those things where baseball players can be a little bit superstitious, just a little bit.
Were you around any substantial hit streaks? And you were a little bit past the Paul Molitor time, right? I mean, you.
And George Brett was in 1980. I was drafted in '81, where he had that long hit streak, and Pete Rose, I remember that one too. But no, there hasn't really been one where, as a pitcher, when you see somebody on those hit streaks, you want to be the guy to stop it too. So your focus level goes beyond that next level.
You mentioned George Brett's name, and for me personally, this is a cool night tonight because when I was a minor league broadcaster, I worked for the Brett brothers, and Bobby Brett, who along with George and Ken and John Brett owned the single-A baseball team. That's a swing and a miss. I started in single A, and Bobby Brett brought me to Angel Stadium and brought me to the booth and introduced me to Kemmer, which is what he was called, Ken Brett. And I remember sitting in this booth as a single A announcer my first year out of college and meeting Ken Brett and thinking to myself, wow, look at this place.
Yeah.
What a cool place this is.
Great view.
And of course, he passed, sadly, from brain cancer. I had a chance to do one game with him when I started to do some national stuff before he passed.
And I always remember George always saying Ken was a better hitter than him.
Yes.
Now, he's a really solid pitcher, but if you look at his numbers as a pitcher, we talk a lot about Shohei Ohtani and his numbers swinging the bat when he's pitching, but Ken Brett could really swing the bat.
It would be interesting if Ken Brett in this day and age were to come along and someone would say, let's do an Ohtani with him. He was a great broadcaster and a great man, and we're sad that he's gone.
Yeah, I think Shohei Ohtani's opened up the door for some players now to have that possibility of doing both. There's Shohei Ohtani than all the rest, hitters and pitchers, but what he is doing, it's going to open up some doors for pitchers and hitters at both the high school and collegiate level, where you're going to have an opportunity, because Shohei Ohtani has done everything well to make sure he maintains his body to be able to perform like he's doing.
Here's Haniger, who's always a headache, it seems, against the Angels, and he has been tonight. The pride of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Single run, double run, two-run homer. He scored 3 times.
Trying to avoid that triple here for the Angels.
He's a great example of a player that, and it came in the minor leagues, adjusted his swing and changed his career trajectory.
Yeah, and I think what it came down to him is his ability to go that way.
Yeah.
And he can still turn on pitches. But when you have better control of the strike zone as a hitter, that makes you better as far as mistakes inside, too.
He was with the Diamondbacks, I believe. AAA then was, what, Reno? Which is, look, if you're going to change your swing, Reno's a great place.
Yeah, that baseball will carry pretty good there, yes.
But, man, he's been dynamite. And the injuries, thankfully, have not derailed him. He's back where he was before those 2 surgeries.
And you would definitely hear his name, even though Seattle, I mean, if you're a Seattle fan, you're not going to be real happy if they do make that decision to move him. But Jerry DiPoto, we all know him well. He's not afraid to make a move. A good fastball by Quintana. That's what you want to see, an aggressive fastball inside. Because now you have options. Even though it's a 3-2 count, you can still go break a ball. You go back in with a fastball or your changeup. Inner half command of fastball, Quintana has been eluding him since even in spring training.
It's a quick word now from Home Depot.
Lockers aren't just for the clubhouse anymore. Shop online and pick up your orders using the Home Depot's convenient order pickup lockers.
6-2 Seattle. Quintana trying to finish off the top of the 9th. Haniger hits the tapper. That's right in between. Iglesias. Got bang.
Seen some good defensive plays by the Angels. That's great to see. What a play by Iglesias, showing the range. Spin around, out at first. Walsh with the scoop again.
Oh, great play and great call.
Celebrate baseball with the MLB Extra Innings Package, which includes MLB.tv. Get up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices, so you can watch your favorite sport absolutely anytime you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
Mike Trout, people know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
You know, when you're in a shift, sometimes you're not in a familiar spot, and Iglesias to his left, a little spinorama. Walsh is just spectacular at first base. And Nick Lentz, the first base umpire, stayed with the call. It's difficult to make that call with the ball in the dirt, but he nailed it.
By the way, that's why Jerry Walsh is the first base, not in left field. Just a little heads up. So gifted. The footwork in the hands at first base for Jared Walsh. And great play by Iglesias. Go back to our Hyundai key for the game today. Hunt it down. You got to make sure you get those pitches in the lower third and get some traffic here to put some pressure on this bullpen. A very good bullpen for Seattle. Hunt down lower third.
That's a song title, right?
Hunt it down. Yes, Soundgarden.
Oh, that's right. Forgot that.
Got to bring that Seattle flavor.
That's true. Iglesias.
Hey, by the way, it's automatic again. When you make a great defensive play, you lead off the inning.
It's contractual, actually. It's part of the player's agreement. Kendall Graveman, look at the whip. Mark Gubazar, 0.60. Walks and hits per innings pitched. Anything below 1 is really good.
It's like Dennis Eckersley and Blake Trinan a few years ago for Oakland. When you have zero traffic, but you just got to find a way to get some guys on base. It's a power fastball with sink to it. See how much movement that two-seamer has.
We've been explaining how a team with a minus 50 run differential can be 5 games over. Kendall Graveman's part of that. Iglesias, Eaton, Lagares. Graveman third to work, second out of the pen. And that one had some nasty run. That almost clipped Iglesias's lead knee.
It starts on the inside corner and ends up about a foot off the inside part of the plate.
You usually get that from a lefty's cutter, right?
And that's the thing, he is a 2- and 4-seamer. He's anywhere in ranges from 91 to 99 with his fastballs. Cutter is 84, 94, slider and changeup. And if you make contact there, that's going to be off your leg. You almost want to try to force him to throw that fastball in the strike zone, but he's able to run that two-seamer and bring it back against the lefty in the inside corner.
That is Maddox-like. Greg Maddox, who used to be able to command the baseball so well, move the baseball so well, and his fastball so well. He started on the left-handed hitter's hip, and it would end up on the corner.
And I love what he always said. If I wanted to throw harder, I could throw harder, but I wouldn't be able to command the strike zone so well with cutting that fastball four-seamer in and follow up with a two-seamer back out. His control was excellent.
How good would he be with spider tack? Or bullfrog and rosin, which is apparently a popular mixture.
What is that? I mean, you know, but the thing is, he didn't need it. He had so much movement.
But I'll bet you his spin rate was pretty impressive, because to get the ball to move, you've got to have the good spin rate. Eaton battling here. Double in the second. A start in right field. His first appearance as a Los Angeles Angel. Original draft pick of Arizona.
I was liking what Eaton was doing. He was just looking around to see where the infield was set up. You know, he could be a little bit late on a swing and a ground ball down the third base line with Seager well off the bag. He's just looking to make contact. He's looking for an area where you have better success when he makes that contact.
Flips that one down the line. Long run for Long, and he's not going to get there. And Eaton has found 2 hits opposite field, almost in the exact same spot.
You have Fletch from the right side making contact, placing the ball different places of the field. You had Adam Eaton doing the same here from the left side.
This is going to be a Luis Rengifo at bat. He's going to pinch hit here for Lagares. Angels got a run in the 8th, but they're still down by 4. Would love to prolong this inning and at least get to Fletcher, Ohtani, and Walsh. That's the job of Rengifo and the next hitter. Kian Wong has climbed on deck. Counts 0-1. 1 out. It's out, and it's 1-1.
Lefty's hitting 200 this year against Graveman. Right-handed batter.
I was going to say.
077.
I was going to say.
It's pretty bad when you say, no, that's great, 200, but compared to 077.
I said to myself, that means the number against righty is not going to be a pretty one, and that's a strike, and it's been a strike zone that has been really wide.
Well, if you're getting those calls, especially when you're throwing with that movement at 97, you can almost expect that same type of pitch. You can even go 4-seam or 2-seam inside if you want, if you're Graveman now, and see if what Rengifo can do.
He pulls it, but the shift is there, and it's thrown away. Moore throws it into left field. Eaton to third, Rengifo to second, and the Angels have life here in the 9th. Dylan Moore was in perfect position in the shift.
Ball was hit well by Rengifo, but it looked like it had a chance of being a double play ball. But that's, again, you have a third baseman playing basically shortstop, covering the bag, something he's not used to doing. And it's not an easy throw if you were anybody at second base on that one, but still, it's a little different.
I don't think
feel for everyone to throw to second base as a shortstop or second baseman.
I don't think Kareem makes that play. Now Wong, and again, if the Angels can get to Ohtani and Walsh, it looks like Fletcher's going to get an at bat.
Well, I remember the Angels had an incredible comeback against Seattle in a 9th inning before. That was against Edwin Diaz in the bullpen for Seattle on an afternoon game.
Wong takes a strike. Good movement there. 97. Wong up from Salt Lake City on July 9th. His 3rd time with the big club. Got his first Major League double back in late May. Young player. His older brother Colton Wong.
Well, this gets real interesting at a base hit here by Wong. Top of the order coming up. Fletch, Mr. Contact. Shohei Ohtani's had a tough night so far, but Shohei's been really good in those late, tight situations in ball games this year.
Boy, so has Walsh. He's had some huge 9th inning hits.
Couple walk-offs already for Walsh this year for the Angels.
Joe Madden would take a walk here, and it's a good take at 97. And it's 2-1. Wong does spray the ball, so the shift is not dramatic. Crawford over towards the bag at second. And you see that right side of the infield's back, so a ground ball would score a run, but obviously the Angels need 4 of them. Well, it's tough to take that pitch, I know, but it was up.
I've seen a couple good power swings from Wong this year. He does prefer pitches in the upper third of the strike zone.
Renifo at second, Eaton at third. Graveman, who's been so good this year. 2-2.
Good battle here.
It's high 90s heat, and it's starting on the inner half and moving up and out to a left-handed hitter.
Take one of those Adam Eaton, David Fletcher little flares into the outfield right now for Wong.
And the Mariners have adjusted that. Look how shallow Shed Long is in left field. Wong ready. 2-2. Oh, perfect pitch. Right at the letters. And after 97, 86 with a bend on it will freeze you.
Yeah, you can throw a cutter upstairs and got the call. No, I think this is in the strike zone, though. Late break enough, just touching the upper part of the strike zone. You see, just get that upper part.
Well, now Fletcher trying to extend the inning and get Ohtani to the plate. 2 hits tonight. The hit streak's at 25.
Well, you can see how nasty he is to right-handed batters. That run in off the plate. It looks good. It looks like a strike initially out of your hand, and it's about a foot off the inside corner. Just looking to get Shohei somehow, some way to the plate.
Fletcher's average now at 312, 2 for 4. Ground ball off the glove of Seager and down the line. Scoring is Eaton. Renifo holds. Fletcher will take second. And here comes Ohtani.
And you got to believe they're going to pitch to him, even though we're in an open base. Late in close games, Shohei Ohtani this season is that baseball off the glove. I don't think there's any way Seager's throwing out Fletch anyhow, but he prevents potentially a double down the line. 2 runs scored. Ohtani, 314, 1076 OPS, late tight games. Walsh behind him, 318, 1048 late and close. So it's one of those pick your poison. You go after Shohei or you go after Walsh. Both really, really good in these spots late and close.
Obviously, Ohtani could tie it. If you walked him, Walsh could win it.
Yeah. This is where all the fans came here for this moment right now for Shohei.
40,000 plus, biggest crowd of the year at the Big A. Ohtani an 0 for 4 night and 2 punch outs his last 2 at bats. That will be a base hit for Fletcher, his third, and the error will allow the runner to advance. Tying run at the plate. 2 outs in the ninth. Ohtani and Graveman.
Wow, what a swing. 97, he was all over it.
That pitch started right at his elbow.
Reminds you of a Luis Severino 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball inside part of the plate, right center. Blast. Ohtani.
Infield shifted around. In the dirt. .33 home runs. Major league leader in just about every damage category. Fletcher and Renifo out there. Big hole on the left side. Outfield extremely deep. Especially Kelnick in center. And another button busting swing from Ohtani. He does not get cheated.
No, and he was on it. 2 fastballs at 97, he has been on. Pretty high percentage, something secondary here in a 1-2 count versus the left-handed batter. Wonder if he goes all speed here.
1-2.
Nope, went right back upstairs again at 97.
Tuck that right under the hands. Remember that the pitch that you were thinking about was the pitch that froze Wong for strike 3.
Yeah, that little cutter upstairs slider. Shohei has got incredible power out over the plate. He's tracked a number of pitches upstairs. He has a shot at that if he goes cutter upstairs, hitting that out right left center.
Crowd on their feet. Ohtani's the tying run with 2 outs in the ninth. Graveman's 1-2. In the dirt. Walsh is on deck. He's been a 9th inning hero for the Angels all season long. Long waits, too long for Graveman.
And Renifo was almost at home plate with his lead. If you're Renifo, stay where you're at. Give Shohei Ohtani a clear view of the pitch.
Graveman has given up just 2 home runs. This is appearance number 41. And the drama and the at-bat is extended.
And the one thing you have to do in this one, you have to step off, and he steps off the pitching rubber and runs toward Renifo.
Now there's nobody near Renifo. The closest guy is Edwin Moscoso, the third base umpire, but obviously his run doesn't mean a lot here. Fletcher's at second. Renifo is halfway through. Down from third base. 2-2. Upstairs.
And I go back to, you don't want anything to distract Shohei Ohtani at the plate.
That's the thing here, is it, you know.
I know you're distracting Graveman, but he's a veteran. I want to make sure there's nothing that can catch out of the corner eye of Shohei Ohtani, Renifo coming down the line. I want to see him see the baseball all the way through in the delivery.
Renifo a little less aggressive here. Still 2-2. Graveman's pitch. Line drive. Base hit. Center field. 2 runs will score. It's a 1-run game. And here comes Walsh.
Boy, I love that emotion. Shohei Ohtani throwing up his arm, great at bat against a dominant closer. Lines a bullet back up the middle, driving into 72 RBI for Shohei Ohtani. Looked like he got that off-speed pitch and went right back up the middle, driving in 2 with a rocket.
Scott Service on his way out. Ohtani amongst 40,000. The Angels have climbed all the way back within 1. Pitching change for Seattle. Angels are still alive. It's 6-5.
Celebrate baseball with the MLB Extra Innings Package, which includes MLB.tv. Get up to 90 games a week on all your favorite devices, so you can watch your favorite sport absolutely anytime you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now.
Mike Trout, people know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
In late and close, and in the 9th inning, he's had a lot of moments just like this. The walk-off hit, it was Ohtani who scored. Now Mark Gubicza, during the break, Ohtani came to the dugout and was conferring with Joe Madden, with the interpreter, and I'm sure they were talking about second base. You got Walsh up. Ohtani is 12 of 16 in stolen bases. Paul Sewald, the right-hander for Seattle. Infield playing to pull. And Sewald misses in.
This is kind of, they want to know exactly how quick he is at the plate, what kind of a move you have. Sometimes a right-handed pitcher, you have that little bending of the front knee to throw to first base. Walsh, known as walk-off Walsh this year, with a couple walk-offs, including a home run against the White Sox back in April.
A swing and a miss in the 9th inning this year. He has a lot of at-bats, 26 at-bats, 385, 3 homers, 2 doubles, driven in 11. But Sewald has been one of the best in the American League.
That arm angle he throws, even as a right-handed pitcher, has some movement on it. Interesting thing, though, was Long playing very shallow, now going back in left field. As you're thinking of an extra base hit with Ohtani's speed to tie it up.
And that's why the outfield so deep. Kelnick in center, Haniger in right. This is not a great throwing outfield. Haniger has the best arm. Remember, Long is an infielder. Kelnick is a rookie. Haniger's arm is good, but not great. 1-1.
Good hack there by Jared Walsh. Already a couple hits in the game, and RBI giving him 66 on the year. Looking for one more.
You know, I said earlier, we talked about Seattle's record with one-run games. That this didn't look like it was going to be one. Well, here we are. And these two teams have been great. Joe Madden and the Angels at 14-7. Scott Service and the Mariners at 19-8. 1-2, 2 outs. Tying run at first is Ohtani. Walsh into right field. That's a base hit. It's in the gap. Ohtani racing for third. up with the ball is Heaney. He'll stop at third base. At the corners.
Well, how about the energy brought by the All-Stars? Ohtani, Walsh, both pumped up as they get to first base. That ball, that's a nice play by Heaney. If he doesn't get to that, Ohtani scores easily on that one. Little spinner on the inside part of the plate, and Walsh brought his hands in, and he rockets out with the right center. Thought off the bat, it's got a chance to tie it up. But playing deep, no doubles defense, prevented that run from scoring.
It's Gosselin. And 90 feet away is the tying run. Winning run is Walsh at first. Seawald against Gosselin. And some pressure on the catcher, the rookie, Cal Raleigh.
Ooh, that was pressure right away.
With runners in scoring position, it's been a great year for Gosselin. Infield shifted. And the 1-0.
Wow, that's running right in. I don't know how that didn't hit Gosselin. That was right at his belt.
Stassi is on deck.
No wild pitches to Seawald this year, but he's overthrown a couple pitches already. 100% of the time this year in a 2-0 count versus the righty, he's throwing a fastball.
Angels have 3 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. They're a run short and down to their last out. 2-0 to Gosselin. That is a strike. Big hits by Fletcher, Ohtani, and Walsh.
Just a little flair will do. Anything to get this run home.
Because Walsh is at first. France is holding him, and I'm a bit surprised that he is. Because it opens that right side. In the air. Heaney there, and he makes the catch. And the ball game is over. Heaney runs it down in the gap. Seawald is able to close. The Angels never gave up. Big hits in the 9th, but a run short.
Boy, a couple really good plays by Heaney. This is a pretty good inside-out swing for Gosselin off the bat. Even Seawald thinking that might fall in there, but Heaney going back, good route. That base hit by Walsh, he cut it off. Saved the run there also, but 2 solid defensive plays in a row by Heaney, along with a big game at the plate, prevented that game from being tied, and Gosselin upset. Thought he might have been able to at least tie it up, if not win it.
Well, the second half starts with a thriller here tonight at the Big A. Down the entire night, the Angels rally in the 9th and come up a run short. Angels Live is coming up. All the highlights and analysis on a 6-5 loss to the Mariners.